$5.99.
And right now, for all Wish or Merle listeners, get one large up to 10 topping pizza with breadsticks for only $25 to celebrate Pizza Express's 25th year in business. Call 865-463-0011. That's 865-463-0011. Pizza Express.
Let us derail your hunger in a hurry.
Online at pizzaexpressclinton.com.
Rogers Group. Who are they?
Rogers Group is a family-owned business started in 1908.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. A lot of our games were pretty much big scores, so they probably ended a little early. So outside of that, bring it in. Yeah, we got a pretty good show for you tonight. There's a lot to talk about. Clinton's, for some of the viewers out there right now, Clinton is in halftime, or if not in halftime, there was a lightning delay that cooked that game off later. So it looks like Clinton's still in the ball game. It was 24-13 at halftime. So
are they losing?
They're losing right now, but they're staying in the ball game, dude. They're playing good ball right now. They actually are looking pretty good.
Did you see that?
I've been watching them a little bit on Dragon Vision.
Oh, what's that?
That's Clinton's media thing. So,
they have that?
Yep, Clinton has their own media broadcast. They go to all the games, which is really good. That's really good for the kids.
Surprising.
Yep. Just like Oak Ridge. You know how Oak Ridge has a date with Dave Cleary and Oak Ridge Prep? Well, they have the Dragon Vision.
Well, let's not compare the two.
Well,
they're totally different.
I'm pretty sure
David Cleary's broadcast team is here. Clinton's, you know what? I'm going to leave it at that. What's that? Come on, don't compare the two.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's why they got it, is to
they did
be
get it because of David Clare. I believe that. They probably copied him.
To be competitive.
That. Yeah.
But anyways, some scores of interest. Anderson County did win that game tonight. They won it big, 51-14, I think. Don't hold me to that. I'll check it once I see it. Oak Ridge dominated a Cleveland team that I thought would have put up more of a fight. I did understand that they were young, but at the same time too, this is Cleveland. If anybody knows anything about the Cleveland schools, they have a pretty prestige athletic department with their wrestling program, their baseball programs and stuff. So I expected Cleveland's football to be a little bit more competitive. They were to a point, but at the same time too, there was no competition there really. Oak Ridge dominated all night. Coalfield got the win. I think they dominated tonight too. South Doyle did win that game, or if not, they're in overtime, 21 to Gibbs. Powell won tonight, big, beat 49-3 over Carnes. Alcoa won over Union County, 69-14. Private NBA over Catholic. That's a surprising. 13-10. I thought Catholic would have been a little bit more dominant in that ball game.
Whoa, would you look at that? According to Jonathan Cox, Dobbins Bennett is down this year, even though they just won their game tonight, 35-0. Typical Oak Ridge hate from Jonathan Cox. That's why he's not here anymore. Go on, you were saying?
Maryville did win their game against Farragut, so I think Farragut's 0-5 on the year right now, right?
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be 0-5? West beat Campbell County. They dominated Campbell County.
Shows how much Jonathan Cox knows.
48-17.
Oh, God.
Bradley Central did win that game against Red Bank, 21-10. So that's a score to watch out for Oak Ridge fans. Walker Valley won 41-6. Johnson County over Claiborne County. Oakdale
knocks down Sunbright 35-12.
I just want to touch on something just for a second.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, DJ, I was thinking about a conversation you and me had last week on the show. I know I've been harping on it the last 2 weeks, but I want to harp on it one more time because I do believe it is important to talk about. there is no community support for Wartburg. You say there is. I say there's not. I have a very reliable source that says there's not any community support. With that being said, there's probably support among the parents of the players on the team, but on the overall community, there's no support there.
Yeah, I still disagree with that.
Well, I don't know your sources, but I know my source, and that's pretty strong. So I know they can be better. Oliver Springs has strong community support. Cofield has one. I think even Oakdale has better community support. So we'll see, though. I hope. Did Wartburg win?
I haven't seen that score yet.
Oh, they lost?
Yeah,
Never mind.
Now, you're right. Oliver Springs does have better community support, and so does Cofield. They also have a bigger, better tradition of winning.
Right. I was gonna say that.
So for where they are, I believe they have.
Did
good
you know
community
at
support.
one point in history, this was like years ago, but at one point in history, when you said that, speaking of tradition, it's not the greatest tradition. I'm about to piss off a lot of Wartburg fans, all 6 of them. But at one point in history, Wartburg High School held the longest losing streak. Wartburg High School held the longest losing streak in the country. Consecutive losing seasons without a win.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but that just highlights your facts there about.
I know my facts. I've looked this up.
Yeah.
Aren't they in,
I
like,
did
in-
not know that.
It's no longer a thing, but years ago, this was the
and
case.
stuff like that. Like, aren't they kind of in the middle of that
No,
area?
no. Wartburg is past Cofield
So then where would
and before Sunbright.
so then who would be the one of those bigger schools that would pull players from there? Would be close to them.
Cofield
Coalfield.
every time.
And so and out, why and that goes to the fact what he was saying, and you have to have a winning tradition in order to pull players to come to you. In today's athletics with the NILs and stuff like that, good players, big time players, you might have the rare few that is going to want to be like, all right, man, this is a down school, and I could probably change this school and make it better. You come across a couple kids like that, but 90% of the kids are going to want to go to somewhere where they got a winning culture, where they can not say that it's more exciting, but it kind of is more exciting. So they want that excitement in their life.
And that's true, especially for good athletes. You know, I know both female and male athletes in several sports that, I wouldn't say transfer, but, made their way to make their talents going to somewhere else from Wartburg. However, still a tight-knit community. Coach James Hughes is doing a great job with the team, what he has available. Still has some growing to do out there. And the fans that are Stone Cold fans out there, they're still there. And I do believe if Coach James Hughes can continue the tradition that he's trying to build, they will get more community support than what they have right now.
He's a good coach. I like him.
And the same
He's a
thing
very
with
good coach.
Same thing with Harriman. Everyone's like, Harriman's got having a rocky season because they're young and stuff. And, well, that's to be expected. You got a new coach coming in and trying to change the standard at Harriman. And I'm not saying that Harriman never had, like, a winning traditional standard, because at one time, Harriman used to be a dominant powerhouse in that area.
There's a lot of athletes in Harriman.
Right. So Coach Graham is trying to get Harriman back on track. And the thing with the community's got to realize is it's not going to happen overnight, right?
Yeah, no. I talked to a lot of folks. I was at that game out there in Harriman versus Rockwood. Talked to a lot of Harriman fans, and like I told them all, it don't look good right now. Don't blame the coach. This is all beginning. This is all fresh. This is all brand new. But you give Coach Kwayu Graham and his coaching staff, which he has a stellar coaching staff, no longer than 2 years, you will start seeing a winning program that Harriman is used to. They're always competitive in sports. Right now, they're down as far as competing athletically in football.
Right. So, let's talk about Oak Ridge.
Well,
Oh, wait, AC, we can bring AC in the picture.
Hold on. Was there a fight at the Rockwood Harriman game?
So there wasn't a fight at the Rockwood Harriman game. I was right there on the side where it happened. Quarterback Amanette runs out of bounds. The player pushed him into the fence when he was already out of bounds. No flag for that. The fans on the sideline was talking junk to the guy that obviously pushed Amanette into the fence. And so it got rowdy. The players on the field, was rowdying with the fans that was on there, and Coach K came and cheered it all up. They was Rockwood fans. Coach K instructed the police officers to remove one of the Rockwood fans, and Coach K is the athletic director for Rockwood. So it was a high stimulated situation. However, I truly believe if the flag was thrown for the guy pushing him already out of bounds, he was 3-4 yards out of bounds and he got pushed into the fence.
Right.
I think that would have calmed everything down before it got hostile.
Right.
Then the Rockwood guys came in to kind of just protect their own, and another flag went. So, that's pretty much saying there was no penalty. They both offset, they had the ball where they were, and they marched in and scored. Speaking of that game, Adrian Darby, number 7 for Rockwood, was a phenom tonight. First quarter, he had 107 yards on 7 carries for 3 touchdowns. Did a great job. Amanette at quarterback. Phenomenal athlete, probably going to get a lot of offers in baseball, basketball, and football from a 1A school. And he did a great job as a quarterback leading his team. Coach John Webb out there did a great job getting his team prepared for that game versus Harriman. And it was an electric environment out there, but most people knew that Rockwood was probably going to have the upper hand on that, and they did a good job out there. Davison Kid had a couple interceptions while he was there versus Rockwood. The quarterback from Harriman looks like he's not calm yet. He's not ready for the big moment. Now, I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying he looked very much under pressure a lot, and it showed. But when he had his times, he got the ball out to his athletes, and sometimes they dropped it and sometimes they caught it. But there is some spark out there in Harriman, and when they put it all together, I think they'll be okay.
You see, and that's a good thing that what Mark Packard and them doing by taking their TV shows out there. Like, outside of some of the negativity that went on the football field, but you can see that when you made that game a TV game, the passion and desire that both teams had in there, being small schools. And I'm not saying that it doesn't matter with the bigger schools, but the bigger schools get more of the TV time than a lot of these smaller schools. So when these smaller schools get a chance to go under the lights, their emotions are like 1,000 miles a minute.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, you know what? I'm on TV and I want to show off for my friends, my family. So our emotions are running high with these 1A schools, and I think that's great. I hope Mark Packard starts doing a lot more
previous
schools.
to this year, BBB Communications had always got the smaller schools.
Yes.
So you'll see those 1A schools, your Cofields, your Alva Springs, your Midways, your Wartburgs, your Rockwoods, your Harriman games. You would always see those games on TV, and it was always OEB Law's Friday night game of the week. However, now it's OEB Law's Friday night rivalry game.
Right,
of
yes,
the
and I
week.
apologize, because that's right. OEB Law has had them on.
Yeah.
Packard was there with it, just came first
Yes.
to my mind.
Yeah. So they expanded that brand from Rivalry Thursday to now OEB Law's Rivalry Friday, which I have the shirt. If you guys want a T-shirt, reach out to me on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to get you guys a T-shirt. Free T-shirts from OEB Law. Shout out to OEB Law and everything that they do.
So
what's the Clinton score?
Don't know
Clinton
yet.
score right now is 24-14 at the half. The Central kicked a field goal right before the half to take it up. They're hanging in there. Clinton is. What's going on is it seems like when they're on third down and long, they're throwing small screens for a yard, and it's not getting them the yards that they need for them to get a first down.
But they've been starting behind the sticks too a little bit.
Real quick, do you have a call on the
Yeah.
line? All right, let's take this.
Yeah, but Clinton right now is looking competitive versus Central. Everybody expected that game to be a blowout. They took it up 3 more points, which makes it a 10-point lead right now going to the half. They should be starting in the third quarter already. But Clinton is competing. They just got to get those first downs. When they're third and long, you can't throw a screen and expect to get those. So Clinton has to get those first downs. They're competing. It looks like they're ready for the moment. They're competing well. Central is in the lead. They do have control.
Jalen's looking better. Look at balls coming out quicker.
Oh, yeah. What up, 5?
Here we go. Coach Gillum. Coach Gillum, you're on the air.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Coach? How was the evening?
I was up and down, frustrating. A lot of penalties. Kept the game closer and longer than we wanted, but boys played hard. Just a lot of penalties.
Yeah, I was wondering myself. So I'm not gonna lie to you, Coach. I didn't go down there this evening because in years past that game's normally been a blowout by halftime. So I stayed up and I went and watched the Oak Ridge game. But I was staying close to it, and I was like, man, that game's 21-14 almost at halftime. I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah, no, they played well, but we had defensively early. We seemed to have a lot of penalties on 3rd and longs. A lot of them were face masks, kept drives going, put ourselves in bad position, and gave a chance to extend some drives and get points on the board. One time they just had a good drive, and we were misfitting some things up front at linebacker and got all that straightened out at halftime. Really, they struggled to even get a first down in the second half. They got a long run late in the game. We had some busts on that. We had some younger guys in. I thought some flagrant holds may have helped them on that one. But other than that one play, they really struggled once we got the penalties out of the way defensively. Kind of same thing on offense. We had 4 or 5 touchdowns called back. And all them things really slowed us down as far as putting the game away early.
Yeah, because it gotta clean that up. Can't have that late in the season.
Coach Davey, how you doing?
Against your better teams, it definitely would have been the difference in the game.
Oh yeah.
Coach Gillum, how you doing? Coach DJ here.
Hey, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Congratulations on the win tonight, Coach. Super proud of you. You're doing great things out there. Seems like you pulled it off. You may have started slow, but ended well. How's your boy doing, Coach?
He's doing well. We had our checkup this week. We're probably still a couple weeks out of getting him back, but he's healing up and, rehabbing and working out, doing what he can to get ready for when he gets back so he's not behind. And hopefully he'll get to play our last 3 games and head into the playoffs.
Good. I've been praying for you and little JD out there, man. So let him know that he's in my prayers and continue to do great things out there, Coach.
Man, I appreciate the prayers. I really do.
Indeed.
So you're on the road next week, Chattanooga Prep. Is that correct, Coach?
That is correct. We'll be in Chattanooga on Friday. So
anything?
The region, they've I don't know how they did tonight. They were 1-2 heading into tonight. They've lost some players, things like that. I don't think they're having a great year, but we're pretty banged up and still transitioning in offense, and so every time we get a play, still an adventure to some degree, figuring some things out. But one thing's consistent: the kids are playing hard, and man, there's a lot of kids making some big plays. Jadon Thompson made some of the best runs I've ever seen in my life tonight. Just unbelievable stuff.
Special talent.
Damian Lavelle, I think he threw for 4 touchdowns and ran for 2 more. Wow. I mean, just some guys are really stepping up, just making plays.
Okay, Booby.
Receivers blocking, unbelievable. O-line playing big. Just, finding different ways to win. It ain't the way we went into the season, but, a lot of good players on the team, and it's sloppy at times, but then they're playing hard.
Coach, how's Rocky doing right now?
He played really well tonight, but he's banged up. He got a really bad sprain in the end of that Catholic game.
Yeah, I remember.
Kind of kid rolled up on him from behind when he was running the ball. Played last week, injured, with pretty good limp, but he played lights out. First carry he got tonight, re-injured it, but he was out 2 series and he taped up, came back. Again, hobbled, but he's a tough kid, man. He played hard, played really good on defense, came in and gave us some good reps on offense. But, he's another one that's banged up. We ended up losing 6 or 7 starters in that Catholic game. It was just a physical game.
Yeah.
And we're still we're still trying to get healthy from that. Not just JD, but a lot of kids got banged up in that.
That was a tough physical game, Coach.
In a game like that early in the season,
Yeah.
even if you win, you're still maimed 4-6 weeks out from that game. You know.
Yeah.
How's Little John doing?
Who's that?
Little John. Did I say it wrong? Get his last name wrong?
You talking about Jason?
No, kid from Campbell County.
Oh, St. John.
I said Little John. Sorry about that. St. John, he's been a baller for you these past few weeks, Coach. Is he stepped up to a role, and he looks like he's gelled in with you guys. How's he doing?
He's doing great. You know, just kind of like the rest of the team. I don't want to say we're backyard football, but, you know, when you're playing gun triple and some things, you got a lot of off-schedule plays happening. And, you know, he's one of those guys that are just out there making plays. You know, he's had big plays and touchdowns in every game, whether it's he's done a great job catching. He's playing some pitch guy for us, you know, just finding a way to fit in and help us win. And then he's been really good on defense as well. Our defense was really good tonight. Really on the back end, we had shocking, but we had a bust from one of our best corners. We gave up like a 70, 80-yard touchdown, and it wasn't ability, but quarterback started to scramble. He thought he was going to get sacked, and he stopped. The receiver got about 20 yards behind him, and then quarterback got free and found him. So, but other than that, you know, St. John, Reese Russell, Keyshawn, Boovie, Hapney, Evan Pike, man, he has been lights out too. Another kid just fitting in, whether it's blocking, running, receiving, playing corner, playing safety. He had a pick six tonight late in the game to kind of seal things, keep the clock running for us. But, you know, we got a lot of kids, just good football players. And it's a little frustrating sometimes because a lot of your plays are off schedule, so you don't know who's going to be making the plays sometimes. But, you know, they're all stepping up and doing it.
That's what you want, right? Great football teams find a way to win.
Yeah. Coach, how do you coach a tennis champion like Reese Russell?
You know, he's a pleasure, man. I mean, if you when you're talking like building a program and guys, you want to model what you want your athletes, your students, your son to be. Reese Russell's the guy, man. He's
I agree.
Relentless, hard of a line. Every rep in practice, hard as he go. Handle as much information as you can give him.
Yeah.
You know, as complicated as you want to get, a leader, just all them type things. So, you know, Reese is really our captain. You know, he's just he's the glue that brings it all together, especially on defense. We've had so many new kids coming in and playing. Again, we had, I think, 10 new starters on defense.
Yeah.
And so many variables. We got some big personnel packages and blitzes and zone blitzes and all these type things. And, you know, he's back there barking out, making sure everybody knows what to do every play. And then the man, he brings the effort. You know, he's a slender kid, but you'd be shocked how physical he is. He throws that body around, man, like a crash test dummy. He don't care to throw it in there on anybody.
Oh, yeah, he's long snapper, man. He's got to be. He's an animal.
He's our long snapper. He's our short snapper. Man, he does it all.
Yeah, he is. He's a great kid, great family. Love Reese Russell, and I'm glad he's under your wing, Coach. Glad he's under your wing.
Man, we're glad to have him. He's definitely a winner. But if you could cut and paste that kid, and we had 11 of those every year, I would book our rooms in Chattanooga every year.
I know what you mean, Coach. I had a true glory and blessing to coach a young man in basketball, and he was my X factor. And like I said, great family, just a great overall kid. Just knowing he was a tennis champion, I just wanted to see what I can get out of you about it, Mr. Russell.
Yeah, you know, the thing about tennis, that one-on-one sport, it's such a mental game. So, you know, to excel at it, you definitely got to be mentally tough. And I got to go watch him in the tournaments this year, and he played a lot of really good players in Needham, and a lot of those guys hit the ball better than Reese does, but he's just so much tougher mentally that he plays games with them mentally. It breaks them. So he's the kind of champion, man, that you love to root for.
Absolutely. Well, when you go, I'm going with you. You let me know. Coach, thank you. So we got another caller?
No,
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead,
We're good to go to talk a little bit more, Coach. Let's talk a little bit more. But yeah, I love that guy. How's my boy Jack doing, Coach? I coached him when he was 4 or 5 years old, and dadgummit, he's about 7 foot tall now, and out there playing ball with the big boys. How's he doing?
Man, he's doing great. You know, he's especially with Rock being banged up and some other injuries. You know, he played the whole game last week. He played the whole game tonight. And, man, he can run. He can run. You know, he's still a pump as far as Friday nights go. But he's got the potential to be a Reese Russell-type kid.
Yes.
You know, he can handle coaching. He can handle information. Information makes him better, you know, and it don't slow him down. Just a smart, savvy kid. And, you know, he's making some mistakes, but the thing about a kid like that, he makes a mistake once, and it's probably the last time he's going to make it. You know, it makes him better. So he gets better every rep. You know, and we didn't expect him to play and do as good as he's doing right now this early, but, man, him doing this good this early, his junior, senior years, and he's going to be something special.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, he's a product of me. He better show up and show out.
Make sure he gives you the credit.
Love that kid. Coach, I haven't heard much about Keyshawn. Has he gelled well? How's Keyshawn doing?
Man, he's awesome. He's quiet, but, you know, he got we put him at some pitch guy since we've been in this triple option, and he is dynamic. I mean, Jason's a little bit different, but, you know, it's almost Barry Sanders-like, his style of running.
Yes.
Keyshawn's super slippery and a little more vertical, but they're both very, very dangerous with the football. He's a lockdown corner. I mean, there is nobody I would care to just man him up, zero him up, put him in his face, and let him go. He got a little banged up last week against Heritage, caught a pitch, took it 15, 20 yards, and when he got tackled, he fell on his shoulder, got an AC sprain. He played tonight with an AC sprain, but we limited him to defense just to try and protect that shoulder. I mean, you know, pretty much just cover corner. He didn't really have to make any tackles, but man, he's good. He's good. He's as good as I've seen as far as cover corner goes.
Now that's number 7 for you, right? Keyshawn?
Yeah, he's long.
Yeah, number
Long
7.
arm,
Yeah, he's an animal, dude. I like.
He's always been a superior athlete. Him and
He's
Jason.
another one. He's extremely coachable. Good attitude. Works hard. And you know, in high school, he's a great receiver. And whether it's receivers or running back, either one, he can dominate high school games. You know, I'm not sure he couldn't play in college too, but his skill set at corner is elite.
He's definitely a lead coach. He always has been. Keyshawn, Jason, those boys, those are the kids I had to play against. Those are the kids that made my kids better. Never could beat them until we did. And so, yeah, they're definitely superior athletes, Coach. And I'm just glad that they're with you, you know, on their program. You know, the great thing about AC is you may know your X's and O's. You may be a great coach. You may have a great coaching staff, but you do it all you know, for Christ. And that's huge. And those kids need that. And, you know, I was talking to several of my friends about my son in particular. My son is a pretty good athlete. He can compete. He's competed against the best. You know, he's not a Jay Jean or anything like that, but he's a good athlete.
Yeah.
But my son doesn't need a coach that just knows X and O's. I say my son, I got 10 of them. But this one I'm talking about, he needs a coach that's more of a mentor that knows X and O's. And you have that. Your coaching staff have that. The Anderson County way is that. And the mentorship that you guys give these young men is beyond, I can't put it into words, but just glad that you got your hands on them, Coach. Again, I'm always praying for you and your boys.
Well, man, I appreciate that, and I know we're both like-minded. I know you do the same thing with the youth guys you coach, and that's really what coaching, in I think, me and your estimation, is supposed to be, mentoring young men, pointing them in the right directions. And the truth is, good men make good ball players. You know, the same things that, you know, hard work, toughness, accountability that make you successful in life, make you a successful athlete. So they go hand in hand. But we are blessed. I got a lot of good men in our program, and they're all cross centers, and you know, nobody's perfect, but we're definitely trying to make a difference in those boys' lives in our community. Yeah,
I always told people I'm not a good role model. I'm a terrible role model, but I'm a good inspiration.
So how about your offensive defensive line? You have a couple players standing out on your offensive defensive line?
Yeah, both sides. On defense, Sean Campbell, we just call him Junior. Man, I don't know how many sacks he had tonight, 3 or 4 big ones. He really is more like a strong safety type, plays some Sam linebacker, but we bring him down and let him rush a passer, man. And he's actually as fast as Jason is, and coming off the edge for a high school lineman, it's tough to deal with.
Wow.
So we get him in pass downs and just let him go, man. And yeah, if they're not holding the hound out of him, then he is getting all over that quarterback.
Wow.
So he was really good. Carnell Niels made some big plays in the run game. Eli Tolley made some big plays in the run game. Christian made some big plays, just effort-wise, Slade Alley. But the whole OL really played good most of the night. The run game, I felt like we controlled the line of scrimmage at will. They, you know, knowing that JD's out, they're loading the box, so they've always got numbers on us. Just a lot of pressure on the quarterback to make the right reads. But the OL, they were definitely hammering them. Again, a lot of the same guys: Carnell Mills, Eli Tolley, Vance Young, Big Charles. He was really wearing some of those kids out tonight. Good. You know.
Vance Young is another one of mine. I'm pretty sure I coached him when he first started as well.
I can see that.
Yes,
Vance is a big boy. He got a little banged up tonight. He rolled an ankle. He didn't get a finish. And Sam Waddell come in. He's a senior lineman. He did a good job. Jackson Hill, our probably most polished kid, he started this is his 3rd year. He was really good tonight on both sides of the ball. And really the mouthpiece, making sure everybody knows what to do. But, you know, my OL guys, they're the smartest guys on the team. They rarely mess up as far as assignments. They communicate, do all the things they're supposed to. And then we had Trent Dingle, one of our normally plays center or tackle. We put him in a tight end number tonight, used him as an H-back, and he did a real good job.
Nice.
In the run game, and really got to live the lineman dream of wearing a receiver number tonight. Got to stick Jason on some big runs.
Great job on that, Coach. Great job. Now, tell me this, Coach. Is Big Charles as good as advertised?
You know, he's good. Think about Charles. He's 6'7", good hands, good feet. I think this may be the first time he's been in a program where he's got a ton of structure, and we're getting to develop his skills. He's got Power 4 offers. He's committed to MTSU.
Yeah.
And I think they knew that they were just getting a kid that was 6'7", athletic, with hips, with feet, with hands, and had everything that it would take to play in the SEC level, but that they were going to have to probably turn him into a skilled lineman when they got there. But that's not abnormal. But he's really done a good job of developing skills since he's been with us, and jumping in there, and not just being the biggest, strongest kid on the field, but learning how to pass block, move his feet, learning how to run a full playbook. And we got him arcing, blocking on corners and running screens. And doing all the things he would have to do if he played for a long time in college and pro. So, I mean, I think sky's the limit for Charles. There's a ton of Charles out there across the country, and so there's never a guarantee. But I think he's got everything it takes. At some point you gotta be willing to fight, be hungrier than the next guy to be the one that makes it. But I think he's one of those guys that's going to get it fighted out to play in the SEC and maybe play on Sundays.
Nice.
That's good, man. That's good.
Well, that means he's as good as advertised. Then good answer there.
Yeah,
Kyle.
he is, and we're excited to have him, and he's ours, and we want him to be a part of our Anderson family and make our mark on him and help him get where he's trying to go. And one day when we hope he makes it to the league, and when he gets to say where he's from, he'll get to say Anderson County.
Indeed.
But
Hook 'em.
we're excited to have him, and he's ours. We're ecstatic about him.
Well, how's GT doing, Coach?
Man, he was there tonight. GT's as tough as they come, man. He's fighting tooth and nail. He's had a rough couple of months, but he don't miss the games. He usually comes by at least 3 or 4 times a week, jumps in there, he'll do some laundry. Nobody will even know he's there. Just if he can get an hour where he feels up to doing anything, he'll come in and get some work done and get out. He's always texting, making sure things are getting done, things like that. He's got one more treatment on Monday.
Yes.
And I think he's just going to progressively get back to himself going forward. So
Good.
We're thankful for all the people praying for him and all the people reaching out. That's never easy, and a lot of our families have had to go through those type of things.
Right.
I know he's not unique, but it's been hard to have to watch him fight through all he's went through the last 6 months or so.
It changes you as a person.
Yeah. GT's awesome, man. GT actually coached me at Oak Ridge High School.
Yeah, man, he's a good dude, and we've been together now 17 years at
Wow.
AC.
Wow.
And his personality. We've got so many people that have different roles, but his is as important as anybody. It's just how much he cares about people, how much he goes out of his way to make these kids feel good about themselves. And,
Yeah, he does.
if we got a kid that's hurt, he's calling him, he's reaching out. He's just a real selfless guy and unique in that sense. And then his energy is unmatched.
Yeah.
He's like the wind, man. He never sits still. He's always going, always doing something. So it's hurt us a little not having him in and day out because he's a big part of us, big part of our Anderson County family, big part of the Anderson County culture, the persona we have. So we're excited when he can get back with us.
That's awesome, Coach. Well, we appreciate you calling in to give us all the insight. Best of luck to you next week. Continue to roll. Hook him. Tell GT I love him. Tell JD I'm praying for him and GT as well. And until then, Coach, we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
God bless you and have a good evening.
Coach David Gillum, Anderson County's head coach.
Welcome to the Anderson County Show. That was a 25-minute long interview. You guys were killing me.
Oh,
man.
That's the
We were
point of the
talking
show.
about, man, that's probably the longest I've ever seen an interview go.
For a coach, that's
For a
good.
coach.
That's good.
Could be good, but man, we were just running out of things to talk about.
Where's the Oak Ridge fans at? I'd be calling in gloating tonight, man. You're going into
they're
Bradley
not-
Central with a 1-0 region win.
Cleveland's down this year.
So
Cleveland
is
down
Dobbins Bennett.
Dobbins Bennett just blew out their opponents.
So,
Are you Jonathan Cox?
If you watch Dobbins Bennett's games up to this, see the games that they played, the teams that they played, they have skirted barely by teams they should be blowing
Tonight
out.
barely 35-0.
The
I don't know
team
who
they
they played.
played is absolutely not up to par to a Dobbins
I don't
Bennett.
care. What does the score say?
But they are absolutely down. If you watch the other scores of the other teams that they played, they barely got by them, and they should blow them out.
We've got a Jonathan Cox propaganda machine over here. But I know you want to read some
No.
Hey, Hall's got their first win tonight. Hall's beat. Oh man, who did they play? They just showed it up there. But Hall's got their first win tonight.
Hall's got a win.
Austin East got their first win tonight.
Go, Coach Stanton Stevens. Beat. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, even though Scott County lost tonight, and I'm not bringing this up because they lost tonight, but I'm bringing this up because I didn't realize they were 3-0 prior to this game. So shout out to Scott County on being undefeated until this evening. Okay, even though you lost this evening, it doesn't change anything. You can still correct and have a great season.
Yeah.
But I wanted to shout out to Scott County because a lot of times we don't talk about Scott County because when they were in 4A, they were getting dominated a lot.
Yeah.
Now they dropped down to 3A, and it looks like that was one of the better things that could have possibly happened for that program because they're like you said, they're building a winning culture, and winning culture brings kids, regardless if it's 1A or 6A or private. If you're known to win, I guarantee you a kid in your area is going to be like, I'd rather go here than another school that's losing.
That doesn't have all the hype. Guys, Friday Night Scoreboard. We're going to take a little small commercial break, but not before we give a shout-out to the Free Medical Clinic. Free Medical Clinic's mission is to provide medical and now mental health care to low-income and uninsured residents living in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane County. There will be no bill if you have any health issues. You need to be seen. Make sure you contact the Free Medical Clinic. We thank them for all they do. Guys, hang tight. Just give us a few minutes. We got to take a small commercial break, but we'll be right back.
Everywhere you look, you can find unexpected things that make you smile. Little reminders to care for your heart. At Covenant Health, we bring more heart to more places. That means more locations, advanced treatments, and expert physicians. Because we know your heart beats for more than just you. It beats for the people, moments, and dreams that matter most. More heart in more places for you. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
Hey, East Tennessee, ready to save big? It's all at Hammer's Dry Goods. For over 70 years, we've been your hometown store for famous brand men's and ladies' clothing at rock-bottom prices. Need rugged workwear? Sharp casual looks? Ladies' game day gear? We've got it all, and it's priced to move. And when you shop Hammer's, you keep your money local, supporting our schools, our students, and our community. Hammer's Dry Goods. Tradition, value, hometown pride, and savings you can feel. Get to Hammer's today.
Josh Anderson is a Republican who has fought for families across Anderson County throughout his adult life. Josh is a farmer, a husband, and a father. For 4 generations, his family has lived in Anderson County. A graduate of the University of Tennessee, Josh has served on the Anderson County Commission for 7 years and served as chairman for 3 years. Josh is a businessman who will put his experience to work for all of us. A supporter of term limits, Josh believes 2 terms as mayor is enough. Josh Anderson believes leadership starts with listening.
This week on Rivalry Friday, it's Farragut at Bearden. Coverage starts at 6:30 on the Knox.
High school sports is bigger than the players in the game. It's all about communities, screaming fans, the bands, cheer teams, and mascots. Oh, and the dogs. Just like high school sports, OEB Law is all about results. Hi, I'm Tim Elrod, and the OEB Law team is dedicated to giving you the game-winning results you deserve. OEB Law, just results, 546-1111.
OEB Law was just a commercial you've seen. Guys, I want to let you know, this is the Friday Night Scoreboard Free Medical Clinic, and that OEB Law commercial you just seen, I had the pleasure of writing and directed that commercial.
You wrote that commercial?
I wrote and directed that commercial.
That's awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That is cool, dude.
I appreciate it. I thought it was pretty cool. Free Medical Clinic, last year, did you know that the Free Medical Clinic offered over 15,000 patient appointments with diagnosis worth over $9 million in value of medical care for our communities? That's Anderson, Morgan, and Roane County. There's no bill. If you are ever in a health situation and you're worried about getting help, but you don't have insurance, the Free Medical Clinic is who you need to contact. 15,000 patient appointments and diagnosis worth over $9 million. That's 7 figures with a 9 at the front of it. So Free Medical Clinic, thank you for supporting us here at the Friday Night Scoreboard, and thank you for taking care of our communities in Anderson, Rowan, and Morgan County. Go ahead and roast me. I gotta get it.
It's coming. Hold on, though.
I gotta get it.
Hold on, though. So I have a couple of shout-outs to make. I've run into a couple of people this week that wanted me to give them a shout-out, so I'm so sorry if I'm going to butcher your name, but you know who I'm talking about. You know who you are. And you know what? Even better, call in and correct me if I need to get your last name right. Ran into someone at the game. They wanted me to give their wife a shout-out, Sarah Burrows. I really hope I got your name right.
You got it right.
You know her?
You got it right.
You know her, though?
You got it right.
Sure. Okay. Sure. But Sarah Burrows, you're awesome. Your husband talks very highly of you, and you keep putting him to work. Keep that chain on him. And I can't remember the other guy's name. I'm really sorry. Please call in and correct me. But you were talking about me roasting you.
But before you get to roasting me, because you're giving shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out right here, right now, on the Friday Night Scoreboard, brought to you by the Free Medical Clinic. I want to give a shout-out to you. You're an amazing guy. You take time out of your life to go make other people feel happy, feel good in the moment. And not many people has the heart that you do to put on a hot Spider-Man suit in 83-degree weather and go out to support the young kids and do what you do. So shout out to you for being such a great man, and I'm ready for the scolding.
Well, now I don't want to roast you. Well, now I don't want to. Before I roast you real quick, I just want to go ahead and counter. Anyone can do what I do. It's nothing special. I appreciate your words, and it's nothing special, but I do appreciate it. There's bigger men out there than me that do better things than me. And just keep that in mind, and you guys can do something similar to for your communities. I do something.
30.
Hold on, we're getting there. We're getting to the Clinton score. It's coming. Don't worry. But like I said, if you guys want to make an impact on your community, all you have to do is choose something that is special to you and that you're good at, and give it back to the community. And you almost spit in my face, but it's okay. So no, what? No, I was just joking with you. But yeah, so like I said, guys, make sure you just give back to your communities in one way or another. I see DJ do it all the time with going to these events to help out the kids, get their names out there, to get the highlights on TV. So, and you know what, DJ? I'm going to turn it around and say, I think you're a better man than me. You just said you had like 10 kids. Apparently you're a good father. So you do a lot of good things for your family, it sounds like, in the community. And again, much appreciated what you do for all of the kids, trying to get videos out there for them and talk about them. I give you crap a lot, but I see what you're doing, and it's much appreciated. So you're a good father and a good man, a better man than me.
Not a better man than you.
Ha! I'm not answering that. That's Mark Packer. Tell Mark Packer to... What's he calling me for?
Yeah. Hey,
that's Mark Packer.
I want to bring up something real quick. So if nobody watched Thursday night rivalries with Grace versus Webb, they missed an absolute track meet. I'm telling you, a track meet. Not only was it Grace that was putting up a lot of yards, Webb put up a lot of yards. That Shavari Young kid is a baller. I'm telling you, man, that kid's really good.
Shavari Young, Greg Tate.
That's the number one. Right.
Number one is Greg Tate. Yeah, those guys. But Shavar Young, Greg Tate, Jay John Thompson, Keyshawn, Rock, like all those kids are phenomenal kids. They're probably all being looked at a Power 4 level.
Well, I'm the freshman. My thing is that
J.V. Stinson.
Dude's a
J.V.
freshman.
Stinson, he's a
and
freshman.
put up almost 400.
All right, I'm confident this is
That's
him.
crazy.
Yes.
Hold on.
Beyond
Time out, coach. You're on. Hello. Button press. Hello. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Mark Packer. How are you guys?
Good.
Mr. Packer, how are you?
I'm good.
You were just
Awesome, man, awesome.
Mark. You called in the middle of us massaging each other's egos. So I'm really glad you called so we can quit the massage fest.
No, we were gloating on J.G. Stinson from Thursday night, putting up almost 400-yard rushing yards.
All right, so this is perfect timing, Coach. I'm glad you called because we've been dying to talk about this the last 5 minutes.
Mark is a ref. He's not a coach.
I'll call him coach, whatever. Coach Packer. What is going on? Because last I saw, Clinton is losing. What's going on at Clinton? Talk to us. It looks like they're about to lose. In fact, get blown out.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even see the score. I mean, we had the game tonight. What's the score?
38-14. 38-14, I believe.
Yeah, that is correct.
38-14.
Man, and the thing that's so interesting about Clinton is, as we were told during the offseason, how this is going to be the year that they were going to have progress. And
We hear that all the time from Clinton. Don't worry.
well, yeah, I mean they're just down the street from Anderson County, and it's hard when little brother's having a hard time to compete with big brother, and it just I don't know the answers for Clinton. I've got a lot of friends over there, and I wish they were winning, but obviously they're not.
Well, I can guarantee you one thing: they will win next week against Campbell County, because Campbell County is on the struggle bus right now. Over the entirety of the year, they've scored only 2 touchdowns.
Well, it's kind of like Webb's defense going into last night. In 4 games, they'd only forced 1 punt in 4 games.
Oh yeah.
And then Grace put 70 on them.
Yeah.
Not getting any better.
Right. So how was this evening? How was the Rockwood and Harriman game?
Adrian Darby's obviously really impressive. He had 16 carries, 205 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. And at that point in time, you're like, good grief, he's going to get to 10 touchdowns. And we've got Grace Webb all over again. Kid's impressive. He's a tough runner. Quayu Graham's got a whole lot of work to do at Harriman, and he knows that.
Yeah.
He's got a young team. I went to his class the other day. I sat in class with Quayu, and we just talked about his team. And I looked up on his board, and he had the keys to building a culture. And number 1 was drive to school. That was the number 1 thing on his list, was drive to school. He's got a lot of work on his hands, but John Webb's got a well-oiled machine at Rockwood, a lot to be proud of, and he's got a team that could make some noise this year.
Yeah, it looks like they're gelling late good. They struggled early, but now it looks like things are coming together for them, and it looks like...
Well, they got two great running backs.
Yeah, Davison and the Darby kid, and then not to mention a healthy Almanetic quarterback. That definitely, and then the senior leading, the 71. I forgot his last name. He's the center, 71. Collins. Anyway, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they've got a good team. They're now 3-2, and obviously they got it handed to them by Coalfield, but I think a lot of people are going to do.
Yeah.
Benson Napier's obviously got a really good program over there. He played up in a couple games this year, so Coalfield fans go, "Oh, we lost 2 games." Well, you played up.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
That's right.
I think next week's going to be interesting for us on Rivalry Thursday and Rivalry Friday. A contrast, if you will. Thursday, you've got 2 undefeated teams in Greenville, one of the top teams in 4A, at Sevier County, maybe the best team in 5A, defending state champion. So that's our Thursday game, Greenville and Sevier County. And then Friday night, you've got 2 teams that can't get off the schneid. Bearden and Farragut both winless.
Right. Coach, I'm really glad you brought that up. I just saw where Hardin Valley beat Bearden. Is that the first time Hardin Valley's beaten Bearden?
Well, I don't know that it's the first time, because I do remember when Wes Jones was there before he left and went to Science Hill as an assistant coach. Hardin Valley had some pretty good teams.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, Hardin Valley's had some decent teams.
So,
They're down.
I guess this just circles back to our conversation last week on... I asked you last week about what's going on at Farragut and Bearden, especially Bearden. Bearden went from the powerhouse during the offseason with all these recruits from different states and cities in the state of Tennessee. And on top of that, on top of that, they've lost a lot of those guys to Anderson County. So what's going on?
You said it.
You just said it. They lost all those players. I mean, Josh Jones was fired, and I think, I had an administrator say to me from another Knox County school when Josh Jones was fired, and I said, well, they may not win a game.
Right.
And the comment was made, well, do you not think Bearden can win with Bearden kids? And I said, no disrespect, but did they before?
No, they didn't. Right. Then people don't realize that before Josh, that Jones coach, Bearden was a 2-18, and then the year after that, they were making it to the playoffs and contending for a state championship.
And their little league was the same.
I think it raises the question, and it is a fundamental question: would you rather win with somebody else's players or lose with your own?
Well,
and
what's the answer?
How do you want to play it? I mean, you've got some schools, so you got Anderson counties and Alcoas and, Marible's of the world. I mean, Maribel got a Beaufort kid, left Bearden and went to Maribel.
Hard to stop.
They got the Brody Smith kid from Bearden.
Yeah,
that's rough. Derek comes out recruiting because he's not. When you win, kids just kind of show up at your doorstep. But you've got to decide. I mean, do you want to go after players or do you want to sit back and try to win with your own?
Real quick, Coach, who was the Bearden quarterback last year?
DJ.
Yeah.
Okay. You're still with me, Mark?
Yeah, I lost you there for a second.
Yeah. Who the quarterback for Bearden last year? What was his name? DJ what?
DJ, he was there for a hot second.
Yeah.
Barrett was in there at quarterback.
Yeah. Where was he originally? Where was he originally from?
Well, I don't know where he's originally from because I lost track of where they all came from. I do know that he went to
Memphis.
Georgia.
Oh, that's weird. He's from Memphis, and you said that wasn't true.
No. You said out of state.
Yeah.
Memphis is not out of state.
We don't count. We don't want Memphis. Us Tennesseans don't want Memphis. Mississippi can have Memphis.
Whether Memphis is out of state or not, by the way.
Me and Mark are on the same page. Mississippi can have Memphis. We don't want. We'll keep Nashville and Knoxville. We ain't keeping Memphis anyway. So okay. So out of state, they're not in the vicinity of Knoxville. All these recruits.
No, and they've all left, and so here's the thing, poor Brad Taylor. I love Brad Taylor, great guy.
Great guy.
So when I went to spring football, I felt like it was Forrest Gregg coaching SMU after the death penalty. And that's kind of what it looked like. They had like 35 kids out there.
Yeah.
I would love for Brad. He led Bearden almost to a state championship game when Dawson Halliday was the quarterback 3 years back. And I just don't know. Bearden and Farragut, somebody's got to get a win. I mean, I'll take Farragut to win the game next Friday night, but we'll see.
Yeah. I went out there in the spring too, Mark, and I remember you and I had the conversation, and we was really concerned about it. And you said it right, man. They just didn't look like they was going to be able to compete. Down like 35 players, they normally have close to 100 players. So it's a big difference out there. But again, Coach, Brad, he's great, man, and I just hope they can get that thing turned around.
Here's a question that I've got. And, coming up in a few weeks, we've got Grace at Sevier County.
Yeah.
And you always kind of wonder, how's that translate? We see Grace, the Stinson kid gets for $391 last night. Ballard had an incredible game. He ended up with 6 total touchdowns. And you sit there and look and say, how does that translate when Grace travels to Sevier County on Robbery Friday in a few weeks?
Well, you got the Price twins.
How's a small private going to match up to a dominant 6'8"?
You got the Price twins coaching for one, and that Ballard kid is the better transfer than any team has got anywhere. The Price twins and Grace won the transfer portal win with the Ballard kid for sure.
Yeah, but it's going to take more than just a Ballard kid.
County might ask you, what about Jason Thompson? I think Maribel may ask you about what about Tory Beaufort. Those guys have had success where they are. But yeah, I mean, the Ballard kid was incredible last night in that win over Webb.
Yeah, he's special. And I'm not taking anything from Beaufort or Jason. Obviously, I've coached against those kids, and I know the high 100%. Talent they have.
Yep.
But the Ballard kid come in, was it from, is it King's Academy?
It was Lakeway Christian.
Lakeway Christian, that's what I thought. Lakeway Christian. I mean, that was, I just think that was an incredible pickup for Grace, and I think that's, even though Terrion Thomas is hurt, his little brother's taking over and obviously holding it down in the running back area, and then they have Caden Weber. The quarterback's down, but the backup is holding it down well. All the linemen are back from last year. I think Grace goes up there and competes with the Bears, the Smoky Bears.
I'm anxious to see that. I think Powell and West, Powell obviously with the win tonight, West gets the win, but everybody beats Campbell County now, so that doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah, congratulations to Clinton next week on beating Campbell County. We know that's going to happen.
Yeah, seriously, there you go. I think when West and Powell play in Week 11 on a Thursday game, TV game, I think that will be a very important game. I'm anxious to see what Central does after we saw Central beat West.
Yes.
Yeah, because right there.
I think Central and Powell play next week.
Ooh.
That should be a good one. That should be a good one. That should be a really good one.
Central at Powell, I believe, is next week. I'm anxious to see that one.
Yeah.
Coach, real quick, before we let you go, tell us about Dobbins Bennett. Are they supposedly down this year, according to sources?
I would call them down after watching them play last week. I just don't think they have the horses.
They don't.
I think they've just got a bunch of Clydesdales that are going real slow. And that's not going to win on the 6A level. The bigger question is, can Oak Ridge play with Maryville?
That's the question.
I know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Oak Ridge looks really good, but a lot of people look really good when they're playing other people and not Maryville.
Well, we'll find out. They're going on the road to Bradley Central, and that's not an easy win right now.
My answer to that, Mark, is, and that's a great question, Maryville's Maryville, and they have a huge tradition of being the Rebels and dominating. My thing with Oak Ridge is, on every level on both sides, they have star power. They have, highly recruited kids on every level at both sides. And I think they have enough star power with a great coach and Coach Rain that can go up there and compete. I'm not saying they can win, but I do have Oak Ridge beating Maryville, Week 10.
Okay, here we go. You know what? Here's the dad. Anytime you get a guy on a show and his kids on the roster, it's a little unfair.
Yeah, I think Oak Ridge competes there, but I just think right now it's Maryville and Blackman are the two teams to watch out. And Oakland.
Oh, Oakland's nice.
Maryville, Blackman, and Oakland are probably the three teams to really watch in 6A right now. I'm not saying Oak Ridge isn't there.
Like we touched on a week or so ago. The loser of Oakland Blackman, and depending on how it all plays out, the loser of Oakland Blackman could end up at Maryville Week 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about the winner of Oak Ridge Maryville? They end up at Oakland?
The winner of Oak Ridge Maryville in the second round, in theory, depending on how this all plays out, and we're going to have to wait and see, would play.
Right.
The winner would play host to the loser of Oakland Blackman. And then the loser of Oak Ridge Maryville would have to go to the winner of Oakland Blackman.
Who?
Man, imagine having to travel all the way to Murfreesboro, second round of the playoffs.
Mark, do you disagree that Oak Ridge has star power on both sides of the ball at every level?
No, I think they got star power. Until I see somebody go to Maryville and get a win,
right?
It's kind of like the mid to late '90s. Until somebody went to Florida and beat Spurrier, I had to pick Florida.
Right.
Coach, real quick, when did this dominance of Maryville start? Like 2001, 2000?
Yeah, it was. George Quarles went there and took over for Tim Hammondtree, and Hammondtree had some success. And a lot of people forget that GQ, had an 0-4 start, and everybody's like, "What have we done?" And then I remember when Quarles, when Quarles left and went to Furman, his alma mater, he and I had a conversation. He said the reason he decided to go was at the football banquet, the senior class had been like 75-3 or something stupid, and they hadn't won a state championship, and it was a depressed feeling at the football banquet. And he's like, at that point in time, I realized we kind of had our priorities in the wrong place. And so he left, and Derek Hunt came in, and Derek's just had a lot of success. And the Maryville train is, dipped for a little bit, but I think the Maryville train is back. And well, I don't know if I'd pick against Maryville this year.
So that's interesting that you say that. So I think that's really interesting information. You say that he left Furman because they stopped winning state championships and they had their priorities in the wrong place?
But he left for Furman.
Indeed.
Because he felt like that they had reached an expectation level that was unattainable every year. The priorities were just a little out of whack. And that happens in programs all over the country. That Maryville's no different. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
So he didn't really leave Furman because it was a rare opportunity. It was just.
But he left for Furman. Furman was his alma mater.
Yeah, he left for
And so
Furman.
when he had the opportunity to go to Furman, and he knew he was leaving the program in good hands with Derek Hunt,
Yeah.
said, you know what, it's time to go to Furman.
So how many? I don't know if you can talk about this, but what other institutions were chasing George Quarles?
Oh, goodness, I don't know that anybody was chasing George Quarles. I always felt like that GQ should have had more opportunities than he was given. I think he's one of the best offensive minds that I've ever known in the game of football. It didn't have to just be high school. It's just the game of football.
Right.
And I always thought GQ was incredible. I think Derek Hunt is an incredible offensive mind. And he's got a bunch of head coaches around him who are assistant coaches. I mean, look at Lamar Brown. Lamar leaves West, and now he's defensive line coach at Maryville, and told me the other day, man, he's having a ball and doesn't know that he really wants to leave Maryville.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows if he becomes a head coach because he's having so much fun on that staff.
What do you think about George Quarles' former player Derek Ring as a coach for Oak Ridge?
I think that's the best
I
thing
think
he ever
Derek's
did.
had a lot of success right now. Derek won him a state championship at Dresden.
Yep.
Derek knows how to win.
Yep.
I think he does. To DJ's point, I think he's got a lot of talent over there. The question is can the quarterback, can Stansbury, can he be mistake free when they play a Maryville or an Oakland or Blackman?
That's gonna be big.
Right.
And that's the question. Stansbury throws a wonderful deep ball, but Stansbury also makes some kind of bonehead decisions and throws the ball into triple coverage.
Yep.
That's going to be his challenge when they get to those games against superior talent, because Oakland and Blackman, they're going to have athletes that match up with, the Malik Howards of the world and all those guys.
Yeah. And Oakland trains totally different than anybody in the world. I mean,
100%.
their program is amazing.
You got to think they're all Oakland's a lot of Oakland's and Blackman's receivers are probably 6'2", 6'4" receivers, all of them, right? So not only
that's what some of the Maryville assistant coaches were talking to me about the concern that they have is just they don't match up athletically with the Murfreesboro schools.
Yeah, man,
And they've only had to play them once, and it hasn't been much success lately playing Oakland in the semifinals.
What have they said about Oak Ridge?
I haven't really talked about Oak Ridge.
You should ask that next time and talk to
I haven't had
us.
multiple conversations with the Maryville coaches, but the conversation that I have had just, they really like the team that they've got. Oak Ridge really likes the team that they've got. I think in 5A, Powell and West and Sevier County, I think still have to be the three teams that you look at.
Yeah.
West's challenges. I think they've been through a lot. I think West will be there.
Yes,
I'm anxious to see what Central can do.
Yep. I still think Sevier County, and it's crazy because it's almost like once that program steps over that hump and gets that state title, it feels like for a couple years that they got really good football for a couple years. Like kids are really, really invested and they really want to do what's necessary to take the next step to be that player that gets them the state championship. And I think Sevier County, they reloaded. I think they're just going to be just as good as they were.
Here's the deal: they got talent across the board, but when you have a quarterback like Cooper Newman, it takes you to a different strategy.
Yes.
When you've got a high school quarterback, Cooper Newman, you're in a different playing field, and he's a better kid than he is a football player, and he's a great football player.
Yeah,
Todd Loveday really like that kid. So.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see that game next week against Greenville's defense. I want to see what they do. I think if they go in and dominate Greenville, and I don't think they will dominate, but if they do dominate Greenville, that sends a big message to 5A.
100%. Well, guys, I've enjoyed the time. I've made it home. I've got to leave in 3 hours to take my wife to an airport in Chattanooga. So I'm going to jump off here, and y'all have a great weekend.
Well, you too, yes, Mr. Packer. You have a good evening, safe travels, and good evening.
All right, Mark. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Mark Packer, Rivalry Thursday. He is the brand of Rivalry Thursday, Pac-Man Productions, who travels all over East Tennessee to televise games. Not only now on Thursday, he has Rivalry Friday as well. OEB Law Friday games of the week. This one today was the longest standing rivalry in the state of Tennessee, and that's Harriman versus Rockwood. Rockwood had a dominant game, and they was able to take over that.
I love talking to Mark. Mark has some. He's been in it for a while.
Yep.
He's definitely an improvement over other individuals that call in the show.
He's been in it for a while. He knows what he's talking about. It has a lot of ties in, not only with high school football, but also the Smokies. Shout out to the Knoxville Smokies. I got some swag from them for going out there with OEB Law, and also UT. I mean, he has some ties over there, so he knows sports, and he does a great job. His production team is amazing. I love meeting with them every Thursday. It's always an honor to see them. So thanks again, Mark, for calling in. We love everything that you do. Guys, we want to take a small commercial break. This year, the Free Medical Clinic launches Mental Health Division. The Mental Health Division taking steps to address opioid crisis, substance disorder, and depression in our communities. It is bigger than you can ever imagine. It's not like it was when we was growing up. Mental health is huge. So a big shout out and thanks to Roan Anderson County Commissioners for helping with the funding to get that started. And guys, if you need any health and you're underpaid or uninsured, there's no bill. Over $9 million, 15,000 appointments last year. They helped everybody in the Anderson, Morgan, and Roane County that was underinsured or without insurance. So there's not going to be a bill. Thank you, Free Medical Clinic, for what you do. We have to take a small commercial break, but you hang tight. We'll be right back.
Upgrade your home with stunning natural gas appliances from Oak Ridge Utility District. Enjoy 0% financing with approved credit and turn your dream kitchen into a reality. Call today for a free estimate, get free delivery on all purchases, and enjoy handsome incentives on our appliances. Free delivery, 0% financing, and impressive incentives makes now the perfect time to switch to affordable, safe, and reliable natural gas. Don't wait. Choose Oak Ridge Utility District, your affordable energy choice. Call now or visit our website to get started.
The Free Medical Clinic provides primary care at no cost to the working poor. Every day, thousands of families live in fear, afraid to get sick or injured because they have no insurance and low income. But FMC removes that fear. We help people get back to work, back to school, and back on their feet, keeping our families healthy and our economy moving forward.
Especially for our rural and minority neighbors.
With a full suite of services, top-tier medical professionals, FMC is redefining what healthcare looks like for the underserved.
For more information, go to fmcor.org.
Hi, I'm Rick Scarborough, State Representative. Friday nights are special in Anderson County. Football under the lights, warm weather, cool nights, and some intense rivalries. I want to congratulate the student athletes, the cheerleaders, the band, the teachers, the coaches. You've worked incredibly hard. Go out there, compete hard, and enjoy it. There's nothing like high school football.
This week on Rivalry Friday, it's Farragut at Bearden. Coverage starts at 6:30 on the Knox.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
I guess I'm going to go find it. He said something like
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Real quick, Luke Jackson, you ain't putting me in no chokehold. Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson, you bum. You ain't putting nobody, especially me, in a chokehold. I just saw the message with you and DJ.
Hey man, if you're still up, call in and defend yourself.
Yeah, Luke Jackson, call in.
You are going to put him in a chokehold.
Hey guys, thank you. Welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic's Friday night scoreboard here at BBB Communications. Shout out to CJ and Brad Jones for all they do. Make sure we bring you guys these scores. Have great men on here, Alan. We have Cody, myself, Coach DJ, and we're just here for you. If you have any highlights, make sure you send them in. You send those in to news at bbbtv12.com. Any highlights, we want to highlight your favorite player at news at bbbtv12.com. This show is brought to you by the Free Medical Clinic. Make sure you go to fmcor.org to get more information. If you need care,
go there and get started.
Real quick, speaking of great humans, I gave him crap, but Luke Jackson is another great man we can talk about on this show.
Yeah.
Big shout out to him. In fact, real quick, if you have social media, Instagram, Facebook, go follow Luke Jackson from Cofield on social media. He will keep you up to date with Tennessee football.
Yes.
Help out a brother and Luke Jackson. All right, so one more time, go to Facebook or Instagram, Luke Jackson, give him a follow, help him out. That man loves Tennessee football. He may love Georgia football more than Tennessee football, but we tolerate him. All right, so go give him a follow. He's an original here in the area, and you really think I'm going to let you off the hook?
Shout out to Luke Jackson.
No. That's not. Well, that too. But you really think I forgot?
Anybody know how?
You think? Hold on. This is important. Hold on.
Hold on, before he starts, Alan, grab that C helmet right there, would you?
Please grab it. This is.
Put that on his head. Now give it to me.
No, it's not important. Leave it there. No. We don't need it. We don't need it up here. We don't need it here. No, I'm telling you, we don't need it. It belongs on the ground. No, I don't want that near me. You can put it back where I got it. So, would you like to tell the audience what you said earlier?
Yeah, so when I came in, we got to talking about Central versus Clinton, and I said everybody expected it to be a blowout. They was competing very well in the first half. Central kicked the field goal, made it 24-14 going into the halftime. Clinton was not converting on the third down plays, but it looked like they can be competitive, and they had a chance to win this ball game. Do you know what the final score was?
What was the final score, Chandler? 55 to what?
55. The last I heard it was 44-21.
44. 51. There's still 44 seconds left.
All right, blowout.
No. Hold on, wait. No, Alan, hold on. Okay. What did you say during the beginning of the broadcast?
I said it looked like everybody said they thought it was going to be a blowout, and Clinton was competing in the first half.
Because they were. They were competing in the first half. It was close. It was close. There was a couple times that if Clinton didn't shoot themselves in the foot, that they could have either tied that ball game or took the lead.
They got to convert those third downs.
They do, man, and they got to stop playing behind the sticks. There was several times that they would get,
last week we got Clinton bloopers.
What I'm saying is that Clinton would start off first downs, and then they would get like 2-3 yards, and it'd be going into positive motion, and next thing you know, they would be going off sides or I won't say illegal formations, but like just stupid penalties, holding or something like that puts them behind the sticks. And then, like you said, on them long third downs, you're throwing little wide receiver screens to the outside, expecting to get 15, 12 yards, and you're not going to do that you're not going to do that against good defenses, Clinton. So you need to start taking care of it from first down on, right? And they were doing great. Jalen, I watched a little bit of it, and I didn't mean to cut anybody off. But Jalen was playing good ball, man. Jalen was getting that ball out of his hand a lot faster than what he was, and he was moving out of the pocket a lot more, right? Receivers dropped the balls a couple of times, but Central has athletes to make your offensive life difficult.
So in the first half, there was no drop passes.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Not this game versus Central.
So they didn't drop that pass down there in the corner?
Okay, I'm not aware of it.
No. I'm just. It looked like Bryson dropped that one pass that could have been a touchdown.
No, you can't say Bryson on here. He's mad at me from the bloopers last week. He said he's not going to come on my Exodus Sports show anymore.
Oh, come on, but Bryson, it happens.
I did not know those was bloopers. I thought they was highlights. Had no idea. Bryson Maddox, you know I love you. You got to come back and support me on Exodus.
Yeah, buddy, it happens, dude. You're having a great season. Don't listen to the negativity. Let us talk about it.
What do you got,
You
Cody?
focus on your game.
What do you got, man?
I mean, the Anderson County fans lecturing Clinton, so Clinton, you better listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. Clinton fans, whoa. Clinton fans, this Anderson County fan knows what he's talking about. Listen to the AC guy, Clinton, okay? Listen to the AC guy.
They're
Go ahead.
Good. They're doing good. They're moving in the right direction.
They're not doing good.
How can you say that? Timeout. So you have a new coach, okay?
Yes.
You lost a lot of your players prior to the year before, and because I don't know who all came back. I just know Bryson came back. I know Jalen came back.
Who did they lose?
that made that much of an impact?
Well, when he lost the when Coach Keith's lost, they had a couple of kids like Booby and them guys. They went and they left. So it was like kind of like Bryson was the only one out of that group that stayed, from what I gather, right?
That's correct.
So real quick, Coach Harper's right here waiting. He's been patient. We'll go back to Clinton. Don't worry, we're not done with them. All right, Coach Harper, Cody Jordan, how are you?
Doing well. How are you? Good, man.
I can't complain too much. Talk about the win tonight.
Just really proud of our kids. Not the way we really wanted to unload the bus and play in the first half, but Greenback had a little bit to do with that. They came out and played an inspired football, and we came out a little flat. They went in at halftime with a little energy, and so it was good to see our kids face adversity and do a good job of finding a way to get a win in the second half, even whenever things aren't going exactly how we envisioned them. But sometimes that happens.
That's a 2-hour bus drive, right, Coach?
It's right at an hour. It's right at an hour. It's about an hour.
So they got off with bus lag.
Maybe a little bit. I think, we've I told them that, we had a little bit of a sloppy day on offense Wednesday and Thursday. Monday we had a really good day, and Tuesday's a heavy defense day. Anyway, long story short, I felt like it was some of the carryover. So, and I talked to them at halftime and said, everyone thinks about Friday nights, but it's in your preparation and everything too. So we've got to clean that up going into next week. We got a really good opponent on the schedule, and a big game and a region game. So it's something that hopefully we learn from. But like I said, at the end of the day, they're coaching 14, 15, 18-year-old kids, and just like you never know what kind of day they're going to have. You never know sometimes what kind of team you're going to have. So the way we handled adversity, we had guys step up. Cooper Jones did a great job.
Oh, boy. He
came out of his shell and vocally led the team in the second half. And then, of course, I know you're going to say Ricky, but Jackson, gosh, dang, he was a heck of a player.
Yeah, I just was wondering what happened if he had a good night. He's been having a pretty good season so far.
He's a good kid.
Yeah, he's thank goodness he's healthy, and we depended on him a little bit tonight to make some plays for us, and he did that. So, I told a reporter right after the game, sometimes as a coach, it's just nice to have really good players, and I'm thankful that I have really good players.
Good. Back to what you were saying about, kind of like, didn't look real good, didn't have like a really good practice, and throughout the week, and kind of like, I would just say, wouldn't say lazy, but like a layover from last week. And my philosophy to that, and I try to tell young kids and kids this too, that sometimes winning can be winning can be fun, but it also can be detrimental. Too much winning can make you lazy. It can make you forget to work on the little stuff that got you to that point. And sometimes you need a wake-up call to get you back there.
What?
Yeah, I agree. As a coach,
we're coming back. Don't worry.
Too much winning, but no, you're right. It's one of those things that, and that's what kind of I explained at halftime. That, teams aren't just going to let us. Well, they're probably the favorite in this game, so they're just going to let them win. They want to come out and win and put themselves in playoff position and different things. Whenever you have a top 5 program in the state, any classification, you've got a target on your back anytime you take the field. So you have to prepare yourself to play a football game and understand, especially whenever you're on the road in an environment that they're just looking for any kind of early positive things to happen to be able to make it, prolong the game and put themselves in a situation to pull off an upset. So,
right.
Like I said, the big thing is I was just really proud of our kids. They responded and come out in the second half and do to leave out of there with one.
I think it's crucial for teams to, especially when they're on the road, to try to control the momentum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're on the road, and even like with you guys, you guys have been winning here lately. So teams are going to come at you with everything they got right now because they want to be the team that, hey man, we just knocked off 4-0 Oliver Springs, man. We were the team that did that. You know what I mean? So like my thing is when you go on the road, as you got to control the momentum from the time you step on the field to the time that clock dings zero in the fourth quarter.
Coach, real quick, I just want to add something to what you guys are talking about. I just heard this quote this week from Coach Saban. Coach Saban was talking about it's not regarding Mount Everest. It's majority of people don't die going to the top of Mount Everest. It's going down to Mount Everest. So I think that's a little bit of what we're talking about here is if you get too relaxed, complacent, that's where a lot of the losing can happen.
Yeah, and Coach Saban's an excellent read or listen to the podcast or anything. You can't find too much. It seems like he's just full of wisdom and someone I obviously listen to and read that stuff. But he's big on making sure you challenge your kids every single day and don't find complacency in the program. That's what we're trying to strive for here at Oliver Springs. Our kids answer the bell a lot of the time, but they struggle tonight. And like I said, at the end of the day, they end up answering the bell. That's what really matters.
Hey, great teams find a way to win.
Couple of things. Coach Harper, we can barely hear you a little bit, so I just want you to know, just so you're aware of that when we talk again. But I kind of want to pick your brain as a coach. What exactly do you do, or let me rephrase what I just said. What exactly do you take away from Coach Saban to what you're trying to implement to Oliver Springs football?
Obviously, I think the thing that you have with Coach Saban is a culture.
Did you say culture?
Culture, yeah. Yeah, culture is everything. It is, the way he set up winning culture within his, even within his coaching staff and different things. He always had a sense of calmness even when everything was not going his way. But I think the culture is the biggest thing in any program. And you got to have relationships with the kids. And, like he talks about often, just you have to find a way, even whenever you are winning, to want to get better. And whenever you lose, it's a lot more glaring and it's easier to see. But looking for it whenever you're winning and you're still trying to be a little bit better. Just like I told the kids after the game, we had 427 yards of offense tonight. And
man, that's awesome.
It's one of those that we still feel like, man, we left a little bit out there. So how do we make it? How do we make a few more plays and different things? Because at the end of the day, we're chasing a gold ball here. We're chasing a region championship. We're chasing a gold ball.
Right.
And the really, really good teams just don't have nights where they struggle. Well, I guess I shouldn't say struggle, but they just don't put together full nights. So a lot of those teams do a really good job of doing that consistently. That's what we're trying to do.
Coach, I appreciate you calling in every night. I want to continue picking your brain, but we have another caller on the line, so I would love to continue this conversation about culture and Coach Saban next week, if you'd be willing.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys. I do want to give a shout out.
Please do.
Our fans did a great job showing us tonight and supporting our kids.
Nice.
They was a big part of carrying us through that second half. So I really appreciate
Oliver Springs has way better fans than some Clintonian fans.
Well, yeah, so,
shout out to Bobcats for life. Thanks for calling in, Coach.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. Oliver Springs community, keep doing what you're doing, man. That's big. That's you guys are realizing that community, the 12th man, is a big factor when it comes to them kids. I'm telling you.
You are on the air, caller.
For that lady gets started.
Who do we have?
Yes, this is Steve Matthews from Concord.
Coach Matthews, how you doing? Coach DJ Pendergrass, how you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good. I've been better. We just lost a tough one, 42-35.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Who'd they lose to?
They was in Middle Tennessee.
You'll get them
Middle
next
Tennessee.
time, Bill. You'll get them next time.
Yeah. You know what, Coach? You know, typically on this show we have callers call in that won the ball game, but Concord is not getting enough praise, I believe, yet. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. You have a young team. Coach, a couple weeks ago you was in Florida. Last week you was in North Carolina. You're in Middle Tennessee now, straight out of West Knoxville. Coach, tell me, how are you putting all this together? And first of all, proud of you and what you're doing, although you did not win this game. How are you putting this all together and making it work, Coach?
You know, it's we're a young team, but we got a group of talented guys. Starting, I think we're seven freshmen on offense, and so it's just getting these guys reps, watching them continue to get better. So some tough losses. You know, played some really good teams the last 2 weeks, and the travel. You know, going to Florida, going to North Carolina, then a 3-hour trip to Nashville, Murfreesboro. That's hard on the young guys, but you know, we battled tonight. This team we played won the state championship in our league 2 years ago. Starting right tackle from Tennessee's from this school, Daniel Batuli from this school. So they've had a tradition of some really good players, and they got an excellent team. And we battled, and we're throwing in the end zone to tie the game at the end, but just couldn't get connected. But lost 42-35. Did some really good things, but also a lot of things we need to work on.
And you'll get there with young kids, man. That's a good thing about having young kids. They can learn from them and grow from it.
Yeah, 100%. I always try to tell them it's kind of like we're learning how to ride a bicycle. You fall down a couple times and you get wobbly, and sometimes you're all over the road. But once you get it, it becomes easy. It becomes second nature to you. And I think that's where we're headed. The back half of our schedule is more favorable for us with a little more games closer to home. So I'm excited about where the future is at Concord. Very optimistic.
Yeah.
But a couple tough ones. So we got to get our character tested and come back and finish off the last half of the season the way we think we can.
Well, do you want to shout at anybody? It could anybody, any. It could be the team. It could be the defense, offense.
Yeah, I mean, our freshman quarterback hadn't played much at all tonight. He rushed for 137. He threw for over 200. Kobe Ward.
Kobe's a bad boy.
Did some really good things. Reese Smith ran for over 100. He's a freshman. Dasani Molden.
Dasani's a bad boy.
Made some really big plays for us. Had some good things on defense. So a lot of kind of freshmen are kind of the bulk of what we're doing right now. But you know, it's we're gonna continue to grow and continue to get better.
Coach, well, I know you have your home games currently right now at Blankenship Field. Tell the viewers out there, you know, what is the anticipation and expectations for Concord having their own home field, and you know where that might be.
Yeah, that's coming around the bend. It sounds like they're still, you know, with all the committees and the commissions and all that stuff that I kind of let people above me handle. But I'm hearing some really good things about that going on as well. That it's going to be once it gets up and going, a great facility and things like that. But there's some hurdles to jump through, and kind of people above my head are handling that. I tell our players, we'll play in the parking lot. We don't care. Fall down, we'll play. And we're playing at Carson Newman. We're playing at Blankenship and Oak Ridge, which is a great facility. So we have some options, but we're excited about where we're headed.
Yeah, Coach, and you know, I know you. I mean, you come from Middle Tennessee. You come to Catholic, and you leave Catholic and go over there. One thing I know about you is you look forward to coaching kids that have ambitions to go play collegiate ball. Is that how you power, you know, those parents and student athletes, you know, to come follow you and believe in what you do?
I tell them, if you don't want to play college ball, I don't want to coach you. So I make it pretty obvious from the get-go. That's the kind of players we want that have that ambition to play at the next level. And I feel like That's what we have here, and we've got 3 visiting the University of Tennessee tomorrow for their game, and so we have some excellent prospects. And I think I played college football. I think it's a great experience. It's like kind of when you see a movie. Hey man, you got to check this movie out. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I want people to experience that. I get a great enjoyment out of watching these guys sign on the dotted line on signing day. So we work extremely hard at it, getting their names out there, getting them on the college visits, and getting the film to the college coaches and trying to coach them like where they're playing at the next level.
So are you actually sanctioned yet?
Yes, we're TSSAA, yes.
So you mentioned that you played college ball. Why don't you tell the folks where you went after college, Coach?
I played at Tennessee, then I'm transferred to Memphis, and then 5 years in the NFL with the Chiefs, the Jaguars, and the Tennessee Oilers before they changed their name.
And you played amongst players like Joe Montana and those guys. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've been very lucky. Played with 15 Hall of Famers and Marcus Allen and Joe Montana and Derek Thomas and Steve McNair and Eddie George. Played with some really good players and was fortunate to be around some really good coaches.
So to be so, I mean, you made it to a prestigious level. You know, it's an absolute dream to make it there, and you did that. You know, what insight do you give students and their parents? You know, what it takes to bridge the gap to the next level, and also what are you putting in front of these parents and student athletes to assure that they can get recognized at the next level?
You know, I think behind the scenes, contacting college coaches, and I've been fortunate with my time at Catholic, where I coached, I think, over 100 guys that have gone on to the next level.
Yeah.
That college coaches can trust me, and believe what I have to say if I see a player has that kind of potential. And as far I try to coach these young men of like, hey, this is what's going to be expected of you at college, and it's not for everybody, but
right.
I feel like if they step up and realize, hey, this is what I want and this is my goal, then it's definitely achievable at some level, whether it's D1, D2, or D3, or NAIA. You know, there's a spot for everybody. A lot of times people try to doubt you, but you got to believe in yourself. And people mature at different rates. Sometimes it's not till their senior year that they mature to the level they need to be. But our job as coaches is to push them to that level.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And, Coach, I know you've coached a young man that got recruited to play for UT, later on went to the NFL, played in the Super Bowl with the 49ers just a few years ago.
Yeah. I've been very fortunate to coach a lot of really good players over the years, even going back years ago to Cleo Lemon, who started Miami Dolphins for 16 games, a quarterback, and Brent Foxtill and Chase Cunningham, all the quarterbacks, and then Amari Rogers and Cade Mays, Cooper Mays, Ryan Tucker, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
So very, very fortunate of all the guys that I've been able to coach over the years, and I think pretty soon you'll be able to say some of the same things about the guys here at Concord.
What do you want to tell the viewers out there about your program, why they should be a part of Concord, and maybe how to contact someone there if they're interested in your program?
Yeah, I mean it's a fantastic school. It's a smaller school. There's only about 225 students at the high school level, but really nice people. Some of the nicest people I've ever been around, and so we're really proud of the school, but also proud of the football program that we're building. And I'm, as Deion Sanders says, I'm not hard to find. Our school's not hard to find. So if anybody's interested, we're definitely out there. But
just Google Concord, Concord Christian, man.
I love it, Coach Matthews. Thank you so much for calling in. Hey, give Benji my love. Good luck to you guys. I hope to catch one of your games very soon. I'm a big, proud fan and supporter of the Concord Lions. You keep doing what you're doing. Keep digging, Coach.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate you guys, and the spotlight you bring to these young men. Sometimes in high school you get overlooked a little bit, and appreciate the hard work you guys put in behind the scenes.
Yeah, hey,
bring spotlight to these young men that deserve it.
Anytime, call in every week and shout out your players, whether it's one player that stands out or if it's the whole team as a whole stands out for that game, or even if it's a standout week of practice. Man, call in and
100%.
let them out. This show's for the kids. That's what it's for.
Yeah, I definitely will. We're off next Friday, but from now you'll be the first phone call I make every Friday night from now on. I promise.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Man,
it,
that's
Coach.
great.
Thank you, man. Hey, congratulations on what you're doing. I know you took a tough loss tonight, but I know you're going to continue.
You know what? That shows your character as a coach and as a person, and a lot of kahunas on your part to call after a loss.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Coach.
I appreciate that. Wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Same to you.
Have a
God
good night.
bless you and have a good evening.
Coach Steve Matthews. Do you know who Coach Steve Matthews in high school?
Yeah, I do. I think he coached a Catholic, I believe.
Do you know who Coach Steve Matthews when he was in high school?
No.
Joe Gaddis.
Oh, that's my boy.
Joe Gaddis.
That is my boy. I love some Coach Gaddis. I texted Coach Gaddis. I saw him at the game tonight, shook his hand, we were talking, making some jokes, and I texted, hey, you want to call tonight? He's like, no.
I think
I was like, all right, Coach.
Leave that to me next time.
Leave that.
Scotty.
Tell Coach I've been dying to get him on here because I know he's itching to say a couple things about some schools. But speaking of a couple of schools,
yes, sir.
We're not naming names, but did you see said post I showed you about?
Oh yes.
What's your thoughts on that? I don't know. Again, we're not going to mention names, but I think
that post I've seen year after year after year after year.
Do we elaborate or do we just leave it at that?
By that same person. No, I mean, this show is to elaborate on what's good and what's bad, and why not bring it on. I'm not a negative guy, as you know.
Well, yeah,
right?
They're putting negativity out there about the
I'm not going to put anything negative out, but I think that's a huge problem with that fan base.
So let's clarify what we're talking about here. So we're currently talking about Clinton.
I figured that was what it was. It's true.
We just bring the truth here.
Yes.
So we saw a post about
no leadership.
I don't know how to say it without
no energy. Yeah. No sense of pride. Sad for the kids. They deserve better.
It sucks for Maddox too, because as much as I dog Clinton, Maddox is a great player
and a great
kid. And there's a lot of kids on there that are great as well. And I mean, I don't.
So are they saying that all that? Like, I don't get it, because if anybody had high expectations for Clinton this year, they need to take a look in the mirror. Okay, Clinton was in a building phase from the beginning when they decided that they were going to get a head coach.
Wow.
And this is just total artifacts.
The Anderson County fan is telling you.
Hold on. Clinton's community wants that oral fixation where they want it and they want it now. It's not going to happen. You got to give Coach Dawson time to work.
Yes.
You can't expect to win a state championship overnight. It's not going to happen.
Not even with former UT players as coaches.
Right. Yes. Right. It's just not. Now, can you build a winning program? Yes, you can. But you gotta give it time, man. You gotta give it time. It's the negative comments, because you're getting your butts kicked right now. It's not what the Clinton community needs. They need uplifting. Hey, look, man, boys, it's okay. You'll get them next time. It's a work in progress. Stuff like that. You don't need to be bashing the kids, bashing the coaches. They're working their tails off to try to give you a program.
Yeah.
And the thanks that the Clinton community is going to say thank you to them by bashing them on Facebook, to me, if I was a coach, I wouldn't want that type of fan base or family member in my program, because bring that kind of light to me. If you got a problem with the way I'm coaching, you got a problem with what I'm doing, you got a problem with kids that I have playing at certain positions, bring that to me first, and then let me address it. Don't bash me because you're not getting your way.
Yeah, well, and
I'm sorry about that.
Don't be sorry. Speak your mind. Speak your mind. Don't be sorry.
That needs to be heard.
Alan, don't say sorry.
The same thing is happening in Harriman, yeah. But
those are different things.
Well, no, it doesn't need to happen. You have a new coach in Harriman too. Give the man a chance to work his magic.
Oh yeah. So
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Cody.
But we're talking about the same thing. They're two totally different scenarios. So I just want to clarify something real quick. You have opened the door to this, and I'm going to enter the door because you opened it. regarding. It's not bad. I'm glad you did. Because if I said it, they would be like, well, I hate Clinton. Well, now you've opened the door. So I'm going to enter the door that you have opened. The reason why I give Clinton such crap is because that fan base has such unrealistic expectations. Every year since I went to Oak Ridge, from the moment I went to Oak Ridge to now, all I hear and see is how great Clinton is, how wonderful the football program is going to go, or how far the football program is going to go. It is a fan issue, not a player and coach issue. And with that being said, you need to ask yourselves, why is there a young first-year head coach being the head coach at Clinton? So you have to ask yourself, was there no one with a higher resume in line? Now you have to ask yourself, why are no more coaches applying for this job?
A lot of them did. I was one.
People want to go to Clinton, okay, outside of the fan base.
And you know what? I feel like that was a good hire. This is my personal opinion. I'm glad I know that now. Thank you for fact checking me. I'm wrong usually, so thank you, DJ. But
you Graham was one.
So I guess that just leaves the question: why is there a 23, 24, 22? I don't know. I don't know how he is, but again, why is he? Is it because he's from Catholic?
Well, I think it's more or less that he had college coaching experience at the Tennessee Volunteers.
Right, he was.
He brings a good spirit, and obviously he passed the eye test when he went to the interview. I mean, I've had several coaching interviews that, they said I was the guy, but, and I didn't get those, right? So, he connected the dots. He connected all the dots. But you're completely right. There is high expectations for Clinton, and sometimes a little bit over high expectations for Clinton. I get where they come from, though, because they have some tremendous athletes, and I mean just athletes.
Yes.
But when you go to the trenches, and I said this in July, I said this in August, we're in September, it's going to happen in October, it's going to happen in November. If you do not have the guys that can battle up front in the trenches, I don't care if you had Barry Sanders in your backfield, you're not going to win ball games. And they have to be able to find those guys that are real horses, real dogs, and I'm not saying that they don't have it, they're just not there yet. But until you can compete in the trenches at every ball game, it's hard to win ball games from Little League to the NFL.
Right.
Real quick, you've opened the door, so now I'm going to take advantage of the door opening. Mm-hmm. If you were the current coach at Clinton, since you have announced that you applied and didn't get it, and much respect, what would you do right now if you were the current Clinton coach? You are now winless.
I would drop down to 4A.
We're talking about now.
I would drop down to 4A.
We're talking about now, though.
If I'm the coach,
if he's the current coach, what is he doing right now during this season after this game that's lost? They're winless.
If I'm the coach, I'm not winless. Period.
What do you mean?
Means I know how to get the best out of my players, even if we don't have the talent.
Well, I understand that, but what? Okay, so let's just assume
Clinton is the smallest 5A school in the state, in the area definitely, but in the state. I'm telling you,
assume that I'm 0-4.
The best thing for Clinton would be because they could get in a region that wouldn't be an Anderson County region. They could get into like the Knoxville, Chattanooga regions. Would be to drop down to 4A.
And
where you have some of the numbers
with Anderson County and Alcoa.
What I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure they could get in that same thing like Oak Ridge did, where they got down into like the Maryville, the South Knoxville region. They could probably get into like Region 3, Region 4 area, right? To where all you have to do is worry about Alcoa and Anderson County when you make it to playoffs, right? Now, I would personally, because right now for the last 2 years, you have not been dominant in 5A, right? You can go down one classification, right? You can go up as many as you want, but you can only go down one.
Right.
I would wait, and this is just me, and then I'm not a coach, and it's probably why I'm not a coach, but I would definitely weigh the option of, all right, if we do move down to 4A, we have a better numbers aspect, right? Our numbers are going to be better because We're not going to be going against Powell, which probably has more numbers than them, right? Not going to be going against West, that probably has more numbers than them as far as football-wise. So you move down to 4A, where you kind of have the numbers on your side. Not all the time, like if you would go against like Greenville, Anderson County, like the big 4A schools, but the regular 4A schools, like Heritage, and well, they lost to Heritage, but like Heritage and some of the smaller schools like South Doyle and Carter and stuff like that, those are winnable games. Those are winnable games. Why do you think Scott County went down like they did? Winnable games. Winnable games builds the cultures you're looking for, right? If you have these games where you're going in your 5A and you're like tonight, oh man, we all know Clinton's going to lose this one. We all know Clinton's going to lose this one. But if you drop down to 4A, where you could possibly have those winnable games again, the kids are going to start coming, right? That's the way I look at it.
Problem kids coming.
All right.
Kind of.
So
who's coming in outside of who's coming in this year?
They have several people that came in this year.
Nobody's talking about them.
Well, wants to talk.
There was only one kid that I know that came in. That was Eckerson. He came in from Anderson County.
Eckerson, the quarterback?
Eckerson was at, I believe he was a Norris boy.
The plot thickens.
I don't think he came from Anderson County. I know the center came from, the lineman came from Anderson County. I think the Eckerson boy came from the program that shut down, which was TKA.
Okay. He might have. I thought the Eckerson boy
one
was
of the best athletes in Rome County last year, Kevin Anderson, leave Harriman to come to Clinton this year.
This year? Mm-hmm. Okay. So is that the only transfer they've got in? Is there any other transfers possibly?
That I can think of off the top of my head. I'll look into that deeper and we'll.
So basically they'll have to fill those gaps in with the middle school team and then the Hawks, right?
Yeah.
The Hawks, and then the Clinton Dragons youth team, right? Yeah. And the Hawks had a good season this year. They're having a great season this year.
They always do.
There's talent coming up, but me personally, and this is just me, I think that they would have a better chance in 4A with the numbers aspect than they would in 5A. That's
Do
just
they make it to the state? Do they make it in the playoffs?
And if they have to be in a region outside of Anderson, if they go in the same region Anderson County, then you might as well stay in 5A.
Exactly, and even if they make it to the playoffs, like so that puts the thing that Cody mentioned was, and you opened the door to it. Is the lashing on social media, the fans,
yeah,
right? So you get all the way to this point, you drop down, you get to the point to we made the playoffs or whatever, and then you lose. Does that same energy stay there, right?
Of course it does.
So that and
we're talking about Clinton.
The energy has to change, and I made a post several years ago when Coach Keith was there. They was playing Oak Ridge, and it was the year after Oak Ridge came back and beat them. Because Clinton had the game. The year after, I made a post. I said, Clinton, you guys had Oak Ridge the previous year. You have a chance to beat Oak Ridge again this year if you don't stop cheering for your boys when Oak Ridge scores. Literally, Clinton had Oak Ridge by their neck in Clinton. Oak Ridge finally scored a touchdown. The crowd didn't cheer for the rest of the game. Oak Ridge rallied back and beat them in the home field, and they had an opportunity to win that ball game.
Was that the year Josh Keith was there?
Josh Keith was there. Yeah, absolutely.
So real quick, I just wanted to go back to my original.
Yeah.
We're assuming you are 0-4 as the Clinton coach.
Okay.
How are you trying to rally the troops, fan base and players? What are you doing?
Town meeting, right?
Excuse me?
Town meeting.
Town
meeting. The social media post to degrade men who go out there and do their best to try to make your student athlete better.
Now, to be fair, I think maybe that post was pointed toward the coaching staff, just to be fair.
Yeah, right.
Well, regardless.
I'm the head coach.
Right. Sure.
Right, I'm the head coach.
Just saying, just wanted to add some clarity.
Meeting, right?
Yeah, tell me.
First of all, we don't bash each other, right? Things are not going the way we want them to go, right? In order for us to win, I'm going to the transfer portal. right? I want to see who's out there because I have to win in the trenches. I can bring in all the best athletes in the world, but if we can't win in the trenches. You got to be tough in the trenches.
Yeah.
You got to be gritty in the trenches. You got to be willing to die in the trenches. Like, you got to put your life on the line when it comes to playing in the trenches. Those guys have the hardest job out there on the field, from Little League all the way up to the NFL. And if you don't have that mindset that you're going to destroy whoever's in front of you every single play for 4 quarters, then it's going to take a toll on your team, and you can compete for one half, and then the second half you're not going to be able to compete because they don't have that dog in them. You really got to have that dog in them. You really got to be gritty, and they have to win up front, and that's any team, not just Clinton. You have to have the guys that's going to fight and destroy who's in front of them on both sides of the ball in the trenches.
I think it's super important to point out, you brought up something that Coach Harper brought up, and I'm a big believer in culture.
Culture. That's the social media post is a part of a bad
culture. Yep. And you got to get rid of that, man.
Do you know why Anderson County is so great even when they lose?
Because they have a positive culture.
You know why Cofield is so great even when they lose?
They have a positive.
Nobody's bashing.
Yep.
Nobody. Our boys played hard tonight.
Yeah,
We
it's like
lost.
patting them on the back and stuff.
The referees suck, right? The fans suck, but nobody talks about their program, the boys in their program, the coaches in their program. They have an excellent program, an excellent culture, because the fans that stand behind them don't get on social media and bash.
Right. And they may think the kids don't see that, but the kids see that.
Kids have social media, of course they see it.
And you got to think, remember, we're not.
That's terrible.
Right, and you got to remember, and I forget this sometimes too.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
You're
cut you
good.
off, but that's just like.
No, you're spitting. Let's go.
That's just like a parent getting their kid in the car, driving them home, and bashing the coach all the way home. How do you think that kid's gonna perform at the next practice?
Like crap, because he watched.
He don't believe in
Yep.
you.
Right.
Because the parent don't believe in you.
Right.
It don't work that way.
I agree.
It just don't work that way.
So I can't believe I'm doing this, but I guess I'm gonna very little what I know.
Clinton can
offer
still
an
turn the
advice.
season around. There's still time to turn the season
so
around.
real quick, there is time. I don't know.
See it because of the way their end schedule works, but they could turn right. And I don't mean to take you off your thought, but because we don't want to tell people thinking that we're bashing Clinton, because we're not. But we're just bringing out things that we see that are the bad sides that's hurting you.
Not me, but I'll help them.
And
So
all I'm saying is they can turn it around. You're gonna have to want it. You're gonna have to want it more than you ever wanted in your life.
Go ahead, Cody. What you got?
So they will beat Campbell County next week, 100%. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Clinton will beat Campbell County. If they don't, the wheels are off. That coach is done. That coach is fired. Because if they lose to Campbell County, I think those players lost on purpose. That's how bad Campbell County is. No shot at Campbell County. It is what it is. That's life. Grass is green. Water is wet. Campbell County is not really good this year. I'm sorry.
No.
Now,
Does that give them the momentum boost that they need, the mental momentum boost that they need?
no, because it doesn't matter if
It should.
It doesn't.
You would think psychologically as a coach that would be the spark, right? Because you got to win. You got to feel what it wins. But then, do the boys feed into what we're talking about? Like, well, Campbell County's not that good. So do they have that negative thought in the back of their head?
I mean, I would.
You know what I'm saying?
It does. No, because at the end of the day, you may win, but you still have that toxic culture. It doesn't mean anything. You beat Campbell County. Hurrah. What's after the Campbell County? I have no idea what's after Campbell County, but it's a culture thing, and unfortunately, that takes years to build. And I love, and it proves true. I'm glad you mentioned it. And that was probably one of the best things you ever said, is you brought up Cofield, a smaller school, a 1A school, such a small school. But I've never seen more unification and positive, rich culture than that community. I never once see Cofield people bashing Cofield. I always see them going after other schools. Yeah. Like they're united behind their squad. Yeah. And that is, I'm not from Cofield, but that is such an awesome thing to see. A small community like Cofield. I can't remember one time where I saw a negative co-field post from a parent on their team. But I see it all the time in Clinton.
In every sport.
I see it all the time in Clinton. And I don't, and that's why I give Clinton such crap. Just such delusion, such crap, because I know some of those kids on Clinton. It's such crap that there's such a toxic culture combined on top of that with delusional expectations on top of they're going to fire and run that coach out of town when something happens. They will. They have before. This is just a fact.
Well, that's what we're going to bring that up. Like, so where I think Clinton within the last 4 years, okay, went wrong, right? And this is where I think Clinton went wrong. When they went and they had the seasons that they had with Josh Keats' son and Devon Marble and Derek Bean and Bryson, when they made it to the third round of playoffs, right? The one thing I said that Clinton needs to ride that wave. They need to ride it in a positive manner. And I'm not saying that what they did was wrong. They did the right thing by reporting like they should have.
Oh, we've opened that door. We've opened that door.
Time out. Hold on. I want to bring this out because I think it needs to be brought up. So, not saying that it didn't need to happen. I would have waited until I had all my marbles in the bag and made sure I knew that the right people that was being reported were being reported, because reports came back that nothing was ever done, right? Like they were found not guilty on the reports. But the damage was
coaches or teachers.
Well,
Coach Keith.
What they did there with Keith, that was wrong.
That's why they over there.
That's where I was going to. When you came off of that win in the semifinals, and you went through that summer, and basically everything fell apart, right? Instead of rallying behind your school, what did Clinton do? Clinton was bad-mouthing and
they eat their own.
You know, Coach I can forget his last name.
Coach Jason Hammond, great guy.
Hammond, right?
Hammond.
You had a chance to have a guy that was Clinton. He was Clinton, right? And I'm gonna take credit this because I kind of bashed him that one game where he got his butt kicked like 49 to nothing. I thought that was very embarrassing. But right, so he didn't come back. Okay.
Well, he didn't want to be there.
Well, right, because of his business.
Right.
Yeah, his business.
Well, I'm not saying he didn't want to be there. He did want to be there because he stepped up for Clinton when they didn't have anybody else, and that was a
just
good
his
choice
business,
for them.
his other business outside of that business, right? And which is okay. But he gave you all a chance. You had a chance. There was your year. You had a year to shop. And you didn't produce. You didn't produce. Now I'm not saying Coach Dawson isn't your answer. But the
Jake Dawson's great.
Yes, I love Jake Dawson, man. When you guys won the 7-on-7 championship down at Powell, man,
oh no! Oh my goodness!
Man,
Stop!
We got something cooking here, dude.
Good. Hey guys, we're back close to the end here. We're going to talk a little. I don't want to cut you off, Alan. We'll pick up on that next week. This is the Free Medical Clinic show. I do want to give a shout out to the Free Medical Clinic. Make sure you go to fmcor.org and learn how you can volunteer. Not just medical, but there are many non-medical roles work from home. So if you want to help like this man does for the people, Free Medical Clinic has that opportunity. You can go to fmcr.org to learn how you can volunteer. Thank you for the Free Medical Clinic for all they do. Guys, we got to shut this show down, but I know Cody don't want to leave without talking about a little bit of college football.
I'll leave it up to you. Brad, you want to talk some college football, or you want to get out of here? Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll talk some college football.
We're going to take a small break.
Out.
This week on Rivalry Friday, it's Farragut at Bearden. Coverage starts at 6:30 on the Knox.
Kathy May Martin has been making real estate dreams a reality for over 3 decades. Buying or selling real estate is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choosing the right realtor is next. Thinking of buying or selling? Call Kathy May Martin at Coldwell Banker Jim Henry & Associates for all your real estate needs. Rest assured, with Kathy's knowledge and experience, you will be on the winning team.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Cooler weather brings autumn-colored leaves and football time in Tennessee. Warm up with natural gas heat or enjoy the year-round comfort of natural gas water heaters, ranges, and clothes dryers. More affordable and reliable, natural gas keeps your home cozy while increasing its value. Whether you're a new home builder or a homeowner wanting an upgrade, consider all the benefits natural gas offers. Call us today or visit us online to learn more. Oak Ridge Utility District, your hometown natural gas provider.
Welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic. Scoreboard guys, Alan, Cody, myself, Coach DJ Pendergrass. Guys, we want to help the neighbors. Go to fmcor.org and donate. Every $1 you give can turn into $10 in care. $1 can turn into $10, right? Trying to make a dime, what did Tupac say? I'm trying to make a out of 15 cents. I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. But this right here, the fmcor.org, they are doing that. They're making $1 out of 15 cents. So if you can donate $1, they'll turn it into $10. Your donation is absolutely valid and valuable. They really need your help to do that. Again, $9 million in value of medical care for our communities, Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties, and those are uninsured. You will never get a bill. So $1 donation that can turn into $10 a care. Go to fmcr.org to do that. Guys, we ended on a little bit of football. We got a little bit of blood rolling in here for a little bit of high school football, which is a great thing out there. Just brainstorming and giving the people out there what you want. There's no hate here except for this guy might not like Clinton.
It's only
They're just opinions, man. Don't take them to heart. They're just opinions.
But what he's saying is the reason why he gives you a hard time is the obvious that we all see on social media. God, just be great teammates. Like I tell my son, who's actually Mark Packer was talking about my son. He's actually not on the team anymore for not being a good teammate, not being coachable, and that's something that he has to learn to deal with as well as me as a dad. So, but guys, be great teammates. Lift everybody up. The Tennessee Jays, my organization, we were only great because when we did bad things, we was lifted up. The players lifted each other up, and the fans lifted each other up. And that's why eventually, after 8-9 years of playing in Josh Jones Battle in Rocky Top, which is now open for registration if you want to jump on that, we wound up getting a gold ball, beating all the best teams in the states, Baltimore, West Virginia, Atlanta, Ohio, for us to finally win a national championship at the Battle in Rocky Top. So, but moving forward, we got some college football. Georgia knocks down the Vols.
You know, I'm really glad you brought that up. We talked about culture a lot, and we're going to transition from culture in high school football to the culture that Coach Heupel has built here.
Yeah,
that is a big thing he has changed, and that. Two players I want to bring up. Nico, bad for the culture. You can't 0-3, by the way. You can't be about yourself and expect to stay in the football program. And on top of that, well, I'll save that for later. Anywho, so yes, Georgia football knocks off Tennessee. I've heard a lot of different opinions about how Coach Heupel coached that last quarter, especially down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
Defense lost that game for
You know what, guys? I sung Rocky Top on this show last week, and I meant it. And Josh Heupel and the Tennessee Volunteers showed that they can compete against a Georgia Bulldogs team.
And they are not out of it. They are far from out.
Absolutely.
They are still in the playoff hunt. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It's not like they lost to South Carolina or Vandy. They are in it.
Well,
And in regard to what you said about defense, man, you got to expect that to happen to the defense. First off, they're banged up, so their depth is quite crap. Second off, I mean, as fast as the offense scores, you can't expect the defense to be on their A game at all times with injuries affecting the D line.
My thing is that where Tennessee lost that game is when you had them down 4th and 10 or 4th and 12, and you let them. Now, granted, that ball was where nobody else could catch it but the receiver, but you get them on 4th down multiple times that drive, and the result of that drive is what they wanted. They got the tying touchdown. Right?
Two things I want to bring up.
So to me, that's where things went downhill from there.
Two things I want to bring up about that. Heupel, and shout out to Alex Myers for bringing this up. We talked about the game before it even happened. Alex Myers pointed out something smart, which is rare for him. I'm joking, Alex. Relax. Coach Kirby has always, in the history of facing Tennessee football, Coach Kirby has always out-adjusted Coach Heupel in games. Look at the first quarter. Coach Heupel, Tennessee blew them up. Like, you were pumped up. They were about to blow out Georgia. But what happened? They adjusted. That is a history of Kirby versus Heupel. Kirby has always out-adjusted Heupel, and Heupel sometimes struggles with that in other games.
Right.
And on top of that, this just reminds me of a quote. I don't know who came up with it, but it sounds really cool, so I'm going to say it. And I use it all the time for myself and people around me. At the end of the day, winners win and losers lose. And that was the fact last week, Georgia versus Tennessee. Georgia, proven winner. Winners win. We have yet to beat Georgia in a while. Losers lose. Yeah. Winners win, losers lose, period.
Yeah, period. Period, point blank. Shout out to Kirby Smart and his guys there in the Georgia Bulldogs.
Now they're not out of the SEC. They're still in the hunt for an SEC championship.
I agree.
The SEC,
Tennessee?
It isn't divisions anymore. That's based down.
We can
on
face
who
them again
has
in the SEC championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I hope that's our only loss, because last year we were afforded 2 losses to make the playoffs. We had a terrible loss against Arkansas. We should never have lost that game. So look at the rest of our schedule. I like it. I mean, we've got to go to the Swamp and beat Florida. We can't lose we 100% cannot lose to Florida, because Florida's been crappy all year.
Yeah.
So we cannot lose to Florida.
They won a game.
Huh?
Maybe they've won.
They've won a game, but they lost to our boy Alex Golish, South Florida Bulldog, or whatever they're called. They lost last week, huh?
Yeah, the Bulls.
Bulls, excuse me, Bulls. They lost last week to an unranked team. Who did they lose to, Brad? I forgot.
Yeah.
Who did Florida lose to last week?
Miami's legit, dude.
Yeah, they are.
LSU. Thank you, Chandler.
That move that Stetson did down there, go to Miami, it was like a wake-up call.
So Florida's out of the rankings. We cannot lose to Florida at Florida. We got to beat them in the Swamp.
Got to go to the Swamp.
That'll be our first win in the Swamp since the Iceman, Casey Clausen.
But you can't knock it out. I mean, that's a trap game, dude, because you got to go down to Florida.
Whoa, it is far from a trap game. We cannot. I already pointed out we can't lose to Florida. A trap game was Arkansas. We overlooked Arkansas at Arkansas.
Well, we're not there yet. We're talking about this year. So for this year, that's a trap game, because you got
What's
to
a
go
trap
to the
game?
Swamp. That Florida game.
It's not a trap game, though. That's a game we can't beat Florida for whatever reason. A trap game is where you're overlooking someone. We're not a trap game would be Vandy. That's a trap game.
Can't overlook Vandy. They're always a sleeper. Kentucky is always a sleeper.
That's another trap game, Kentucky.
I mean, you got
teams
Arkansas,
you know you're going
that's
to
a
beat.
sleeper. Ole Miss.
And Mississippi State right now.
I mean, there's some tough teams out there, you know, that we're going to have to play. So, yeah.
Say again, Chandler? Yeah, that's fair. Mississippi State. That's going to be our Arkansas from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be. They're undefeated.
There's some tough games.
Well, they're crap. Mississippi State. They're not. They're not. They're going to be undefeated when we play them. So. Wow.
Is there any like division games at all? Or is it all out?
It's all.
Tennessee plays UAB tomorrow, so they'll beat them by 90.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Chandler's about to say something. What, Chandler?
Yeah.
So, anywho.
Oklahoma will be a tough game.
Oh, we have some tough games, but
Texas will be a tough game.
we don't play Texas though.
Yeah, we don't play. I don't think Texas is on our schedule.
No, they're not. That'd be a big game.
They're going to be on their schedule eventually.
I mean, they're in the SEC.
Yeah, eventually. Maybe in the next 2 years. But
Yeah.
Joey Aguilar looked awesome.
I like Joey.
Joey looked. I can't remember who said. I think it was Kirk Herbstreit that said it. What we were missing last year is what we have this year with Joey Aguilar.
Yeah.
The deep ball, the accuracy, good decision making.
Yeah.
That's what we were missing last year with Nico Iamaleava, however you pronounce his name. I'm just gonna call it Leva. Leave us. He's a better athlete than Joey Aguilar, but he's not a better quarterback.
So I watched Amaliva. I watched him in practice. One of my boys had a invite to Tennessee, and it's when he first got there. He was a redshirt freshman, and he was behind, was it not Hooker, but Melton.
What'd you call me?
Behind Melton.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
And I was impressed by his athleticism, the way he can move and run. Super impressed with, Nico's athletic ability and how he can throw the ball. But I seen him get out of the pocket several times at that practice, and I knew he was going to be a threat with his feet, and he didn't show that when he actually took the opportunity to get there. I like Nico. I did. I think he made some bad decisions. I think he was young. I think he was influenced by the wrong people. But he's at UCLA 0-3 with a head coach that just got fired. They're talking about he's going through a transfer again. Obviously, a lot of that stuff is just rubbish because how he did make the move from Tennessee back to California where he's from. But Joey Aguilar has just proven that, not only is he a great competitor, he's a great teammate, and he can lead well.
And on top of that, we've got that 5-star quarterback coming in next year. So where's that going to leave our other guy?
We'll have somebody.
Yeah, we're going to have someone leave.
I mean,
George McIntyre, I believe. He's supposedly the next in line after.
Well, he's the Brentwood boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, Heupel had Nico come in behind Melton, Joe Melton. And I think Nico was a 5-star quarterback, and he decided to redshirt and let Melton finish his senior year. So the culture that they're building over there, I believe the kid don't come in and start right away. It won't be a big deal.
Oh, he's not starting, but what grade's McIntyre? And I can't even pronounce the last name, but what grade's he?
He's a redshirt freshman.
He's a redshirt freshman? He's a true freshman. So this quarterback from
what's his name?
Jake Merklinger.
Yeah.
He's a redshirt.
So at some point, you're going to have McIntyre. Am I saying his name right? Okay, McIntyre. And what's the other kid, the 5-star quarterback coming in next year?
Next year?
No, he's not on a college roster. He's currently a high schooler. But anyway.
Yeah, he's 5-star recruit.
He's a 5-star recruit, so those two are going to battle it out. So one of those are going to leave.
Well, you know what? The NCAA has pretty much changed the rules for the transfer portal, which is now like the high school rules. You have 1 year to transfer. And you cannot transfer in the spring. So the NIL money is going to be dealt out in different ways, and it's going to be hard for kids to get out of there. So either you're going to have to compete, and I think that's good too. You're going to have to compete and really show that you have the goods, or next man up.
Next man up.
Are they going to fire Billy Napier sometime this year before the season ends?
No, they just renewed his contract. They just renewed his
contract. I didn't do it. I did not do it. I just want. Say what? Faison Brandon, Faison Brandon, George McIntyre. So they're going to battle it out, but what do you think, DJ? Are they going to fire him before the season ends?
It's a business.
If they lose to us, darn right they will.
It's a business, and worse than any high school bad culture, like you say that we've talked about that Clinton puts out there. It is demoralizing at the college level, and you cannot lose. Napier cannot lose to the wrong team and continue to go. So the administration, the people in the high powers are going to believe that the kids are not the problem. They have the kids that they're supposed to compete and win. They'll get rid of him.
They will. They only kept him because he had a great recruiting class last year, and apparently, according to the ESPN broadcast, they would have lost a lot of those recruits, good recruits, if they had fired him. So apparently, he's a good coach in the eyes of the players, but pissing off the entire state of Florida and Swampville.
That's trouble.
Well, that goes back to like Packer was saying. it's hard nowadays for a new coach to come in to basically build his program because of the community. The community has these high standards, and
well,
regardless. So a lot of times the new coach coming in might only have a year to 2 years to prove that he can change the culture, and sometimes, and like we're seeing, especially in high school, it takes more than a year or 2 years.
I mean, college is $1 billion
But
industry.
college is different. Like
yeah,
college,
it's different. There's big money involved.
Well,
It's
you
a
have the
$1
ability
billion
to change
industry.
you can change your culture overnight in college.
Heupel has done that.
You can't do that.
Tennessee was a dumpster fire
Right.
after Pruitt left, dead in the water. Heupel has rebuilt the culture at Tennessee. Speaking of, what do you think about Arkansas, Bobby Petrino?
Yeah, but look
Well,
at
I don't know. Well, tell me. What happened?
None. They're just doing good. They're
I mean-
I believe they're unranked. I'm talking about SEC teams right now, so I
think-
could be wrong. Brad, please fact check me if I'm wrong, but I believe Arkansas is unranked. They're ranked. What are they ranked?
They're unranked.
Oh, I am right. That's a rarity. So they're unranked, but they've got a sleeper at quarterback that beat us last year. So
Oh yeah, I think I know who, like, cause he's an African American.
yeah. So I was curious if you knew anything about Arkansas.
Kind of tall.
Yeah.
He just wear glasses. Or no?
I don't think he wears
I don't think
glasses.
so.
But I know,
Yeah.
dude. He's gonna be legit.
He was a guy. Yeah. he
Yeah.
was a
So
guy.
Arkansas is looking like.
I mean, Arkansas can win any given.
And I
ball
bring up
game.
Bobby Petrino because he's a mastermind at offense.
Right.
Like how our boy Packer was talking about George Quarles. Bobby Petrino is like that guy.
Yeah.
Offensive mind.
I
Unfortunately, he
agree.
wrecked his motorcycle and had a young girlfriend. So
This guy. Alabama. Where's Alabama at in all this talk? Nobody. You know what's weird? We've said a lot of teams and we haven't said Alabama. Where's Alabama in all this talk?
Well, it's because it's not Saban anymore.
what about?
I've seen a post that had the Cracker Barrel signs. You know, all the big argument about the Cracker Barrel signs.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
see
funny.
You see that? Nick Saban had the one with the guy, and then the new coach
That's
had
funny.
the one
Yeah,
without
that's
it.
accurate.
Is that pretty accurate?
It's darn right accurate.
Absolutely accurate.
So it's
Georgia's the new Alabama.
Georgia's Georgia. Alabama's.
Yeah, I agree.
Georgia's the new Alabama.
Yeah.
So Alabama is in an interesting spot. Who'd they beat last week?
Wisconsin.
They beat Wisconsin. No, Wisconsin was unranked? Okay.
Yeah,
So who knows at this point? They beat unranked Wisconsin, but they lost to FSU,
yeah.
who I believe was unranked. So
Yeah.
Alabama is no longer feared. They're not the Saban Alabamas.
No.
So every time we play Alabama, it's like, who cares now because it's not Saban? What's up?
Florida State's a lot more dangerous than you realize.
Who?
Florida State.
Florida State.
Florida State's going to be a good team this year.
Yeah. You know, how far they go is yet to see, but Florida State is definitely dangerous, and they showed that game one versus Alabama in their new stadium in Tallahassee. So
And they're undefeated right now, right?
They are undefeated.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up something that we talked about with Coach Harper about culture and discipline. I'll never forget, it was last year, Alabama at Tennessee. This would never happen under Saban. As someone pointed out in a video after the loss to Tennessee, with Alabama, of course, there was a fourth down play called, and Alabama didn't get it. But before the call was even made that they didn't get it, you had players celebrating, throwing up basketball signs, two wide receivers, before the play even ended.
right.
Before there was even a call made by the refs, they're celebrating already. And someone pointed out that's the difference between a Saban coach team and Kalen DeBoer.
Absolutely.
That would never happen. Saban would tear them up, get them off the field. You would never see that.
Absolutely.
Saban was just such a disciplinarian and a great coach. Again, Alabama is no longer feared. I don't know what to think of Alabama right now. I don't think they're the Alabama of the past, but I want to see how they do against other teams. We might see a similar situation with Billy Napier, where if he doesn't start winning games that they should win or expect to win, you may see him get fired.
Yeah.
And that's a big paycheck.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Who else is in the SEC? We have Texas in the SEC, and the Manning kid has been boosted up, above and beyond. Do you feel like he he is as advertised.
How did he do last week? I didn't pay
He
attention.
did horrible, dude.
He did bad.
Who did he play last
He
week?
did bad last week.
I'm not sure, but I remember seeing his stats.
It was a nobody.
Who did they play last week, Chandler?
It was a nobody. Yeah.
And they looked terrible against UTEP?
Yeah, dude. He had.
So, as you pointed out, you opened the door to it, which is not a big deal to open the door. Like, he was advertised because he's a Manning, of course, no big deal. But all this pressure was on him. I brought this up 2 weeks ago. Thank you for reminding me. Someone gave me crap about it. I can't remember who. But I saw a highlight video of high school Archie, what's his name? Arch Manning? Arch Manning.
Yeah.
I saw a high school video of Arch Manning running circles around this high school team. But then I see it's a bunch of slow kids that can't keep up with them. So I'm thinking, is the high school competition in that area of Texas not that great?
No.
I have no idea. Either way, though, I wasn't impressed with the competition he's facing. I think you're starting to see a little bit of a struggle with him in college, and it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to that with the SEC.
Yeah.
So there was an analyst that brought this projective out, and it's a really good projective, right? So everyone's always talking about how they hyped up Arch Manning. Well, when he said that, when these coaches and then, when the fan base was hollering out, why are we Quentin Ewers starting? Why is Ewers starting? Why isn't we putting in Arch Manning? Why, there's a reason why Ewers is a starter and Arch Manning was a running back. Steve Sprague, how do you say his name?
Yeah, him.
Him, right?
Him.
A head coach isn't going to put a guy over another guy if he isn't that good in that type of program.
Right, in a billion-dollar industry.
Right. So if Quentin Ewers was the starter, he earned that spot. He just wasn't given that spot.
Right.
And he goes, and this is a prime example of why people need to realize that why this guy started and why this guy was second string.
Right.
And it's kind of showed that UTEP game, like, Manning's there, but he's not there.
Right.
And that's why Ewers was starting.
Well, behind Ewers, actually, Arch Manning did look like he was up and coming. He had some highlights that showed glimpses that he was going to be, a competitor. And obviously, with the Manning name, they carried it. However, I don't think he's up to par. I'm going back on here with Cody here, playing the high school teams that just really couldn't compete with him. And it's hard to say that a team in Texas is not athletic because some of the best athletes come out of Texas, in football. Yeah. It's a football state, just like California and just like Florida. Texas is one of those states that are highly recruiting. You see the best athletes come out of there. So, but obviously, the competition wasn't up to par, and he looked better than what he was on top of the Manning name.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I just want to say, I want to circle back to something real quick about Napier and DeBoer. Totally off topic, but I think it's important to bring up. If they fire those coaches, Alabama and Florida,
yeah,
who do you think those coaches are going to go after? Who do you think those schools are going to go after? I have one name in mind. Who do you think?
Who do you think the coaches are going to after?
No. The schools. If they fire Billy Napier and Kelly DeBoer, Alabama and Florida fire their current coaches.
Yeah.
Who do you think they're going to go after?
Deion Sanders.
Try again. Maybe, but try again. But he's doing terrible right now. He just give me another.
Heupel.
Maybe. I have another name in mind that we may not like.
Kirby Smart?
No, he's not looking at
He's
Georgia.
not going
No way.
probably has a
No, I'm
lifetime
thinking of another.
contract there.
I'm sure there's a. I'm gonna give it another couple minutes. I hope someone calls in if they're still watching. If you can come up with the name.
Jake Dawson.
Shit. Excuse me.
He says she.
Come on.
Who is it? I just
Brad, do you have a name in mind?
Funny.
Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin ain't leaving.
He is ready to leave. No, he will leave Ole Miss so fast.
I don't think so.
They don't. Florida, Alabama, they will. 100%. He's ready to get out of there.
I
think he would.
Maybe. Now, if they gave him the right kind of money, maybe.
And I think he'd come out.
He gets paid the right kind of money everywhere he goes.
No, I know that.
But Mississippi, Ole Miss can't keep up, though. They're not one of the big money schools like Tennessee, Texas. They cannot keep up. He's even brought this up in the past in interviews.
Remind me of their record last year, Chandler, and how well they played towards the end of the entire season. Ole Miss was not a slouch team.
We're not saying that at all. We're just talking about the money. It's a money game.
It is a money game.
They can't keep up.
But Ole Miss was in the talks of potentially going to the playoffs.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. But that doesn't change the fact Alabama, Florida is a better job than Ole Miss.
And that is 100% correct. And it is a billion-dollar industry.
Sure.
Yes,
They could be, Ole Miss could be projected to go to the playoffs. Sure. I'm not disagreeing with you. But the fact of the matter is, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee are better jobs than Ole Miss.
100%.
They cannot keep up with the money that those schools that I just mentioned can throw out to recruits. And it's Ole Miss. Who wants to be in Mississippi? They went 10-3.
3. That's not a bad record. So, what I was going to say on the Manning thing. So, me personally, I think, and this goes back to Nico too. Last year, I think Georgia's defense put the fear of God in both them guys. Because if you watch that Georgia and Texas game, when Manning took over for Ewing, and when he got smacked those 2 plays in a row, when he came out, they showed his face, and his eyes were this big.
Yeah.
Like, what did I get myself into? Nico, same thing. When they had played Georgia, Georgia came close to putting him in the body bag, buddy. Right? And I personally think it was like, wait a minute, I think I just got myself into something I can't handle. And
Do
now,
you think Georgia is the new Alabama because they have the best athletes or the best guys in the trenches?
I think it's the best jobs in the trenches because you look at
I think they have the best coach.
That too, but if you look at a lot of
He's a hell of a coach.
He's a hell of a coach.
You saw it last week with Tennessee. There was 2 plays that determined that game. When it was 21-7, and if he kicked that ball to us one more time, it was about to be a 3-score game. He made a 4th down call on his own side of the field that he knew if he gave us that ball back, we were going to score again.
Mm-hmm.
He determined right there, this is the game. Could potentially be the game. That was 3 scores.
Yeah.
That was the moment he decided, I can't give them back the ball. We need to score. And they scored. And, of course, Alan mentioned earlier about how that quarterback threw a beautiful ball. That was a 4th down call. Kirby Smart makes some ballsy calls.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him.
The players execute.
And the players execute, but that's what makes him not from a good coach, but a great coach. And that's, unfortunately for us as Tennessee fans, makes him a better coach than Heupel as of this moment.
Lane Kiffin, Heupel also makes ballsy calls. I'm going to
He iced his own kicker. I'll leave it at that.
Heupel. He did ice his own
well,
kicker.
that wasn't his fault. That was
Hold on. What were you going to say?
You don't win games unless you got the guys in the trenches. Georgia is so dominant because they have the guys in the trenches. Cofield is so dominant because they have guys in the trenches. Maryville is dominant because they have the guys in the trenches. You have to have the guys in the trenches. I don't care how many D1 stars that you have that can run, catch, and pass. If you don't have the protection or the guys on the other side that's going to destroy the protection, it's going to be hard to win.
What's every coach, if you ask them, hey, coach, when you start the game off, where's it start at? And every coach in the world will tell you it starts in the trenches.
I've never coached a football team without figuring out first who my center's going to be. I don't care who my running back and quarterback is going to be. The first player that I'm going to find, I don't know anybody on the team, is I'm going to figure out who my center is going to be. And it's not the big guy on the field. It's the best center.
Right.
He may not be the biggest guy, but he's going to be the best center. He's going to be a dog, and he's going to lead that line. From there, I work on the line. For many years, I've coached as a head coach, and my main focus was the line. In Little League, coaching 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, middle school, my main focus is to make sure that these 6-year-old kids know the plays just as well as the quarterback.
Right. Right, because you're right, because if you got a good line and they do their job correctly,
it makes a difference.
It makes. You
and
can
how
take
fast do you
running
think
back and put him back there, and he's going to look like a superstar?
Well, how fast do you think those linemen are for Georgia?
Oh, that Trevon Davis, he ran a 4.5 40 for the NFL Combine. And that was a 350-pound man.
Come on now, guys. Free medical clinic. You have anything to leave out with, Cody, Alan?
Hey, if you're a Clintonian and you dislike me, I'll give you the opportunity to come watch me get choked out tomorrow in Harriman. I have a match coming up in the cage. So if you want to at least take your anger out on me, bring it on. I love that energy. That's the energy I want.
Yeah, fire breathers only. Show up, Roane County. Check them out. What about you, Alan? Got anything to end on?
No, just keep up the good work, man. It's still 5 5 more weeks of football left. Anything can happen. 6 more weeks, something like that. Anything can happen, man. Your stars, or you control your stars. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
And Cody's on his way out, guys. It's been a great show. We always appreciate you guys showing up, being here for us. Make sure that you stay tuned. If you have highlights, send them news at bbbtv12.com. We're super excited about your getting choked out tomorrow. We're super excited about how you guys always stay tuned and tune in with us and join us on the show. Alan, Cody, he's on his way out. Myself, Coach DJ. Guys, it's been a blast. It would only get better.
Yep.
See you next week.
Playoffs coming.
Everywhere you look, you can find unexpected things that make you smile. Little reminders to care for your heart. At Covenant Health, we bring more heart to more places. That means more locations, advanced treatments, and expert physicians. Because we know your heart beats for more than just you. It beats for the people, moments, and dreams that matter most. More heart in more places for you. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
Hey, East Tennessee, ready to save big? It's all at Hammer's Dry Goods. For over 70 years, we've been your hometown store for famous brand men's and ladies' clothing at rock-bottom prices. Need rugged workwear? Sharp casual looks? Ladies' game day gear? We've got it all, and it's priced to move. And when you shop Hammer's, you keep your money local, supporting our schools, our students, and our community. Hammer's Dry Goods. Tradition, value, hometown pride, and savings you can feel. Get to Hammer's today.
Josh Anderson is a Republican who has fought for families across Anderson County throughout his adult life. Josh is a farmer, a husband, and a father. For 4 generations, his family has lived in Anderson County. A graduate of the University of Tennessee, Josh has served on the Anderson County Commission for 7 years and served as chairman for 3 years. Josh is a businessman who will put his experience to work for all of us. A supporter of term limits, Josh believes 2 terms as mayor is enough. Josh Anderson believes leadership starts with listening.
High school sports is bigger than the players in the game. It's all about communities, screaming fans, the bands, cheer teams, and mascots. Oh, and the dogs. Just like high school sports, OEB Law is all about results. Hi, I'm Tim Elrod, and the OEB Law team is dedicated to giving you the game-winning results you deserve. OEB Law, just results, 546-1111.
Upgrade your home with stunning natural gas appliances from Oak Ridge Utility District. Enjoy 0% financing with approved credit and turn your dream kitchen into a reality. Call today for a free estimate, get free delivery on all purchases, and enjoy handsome incentives on our appliances. Free delivery, 0% financing, and impressive incentives makes now the perfect time to switch to affordable, safe, and reliable natural gas. Don't wait. Choose Oak Ridge Utility District, your affordable energy choice. Call now or visit our website to get started.
The Free Medical Clinic provides primary care at no cost to the working poor. Every day, thousands of families live in fear, afraid to get sick or injured because they have no insurance and low income. But FMC removes that fear. We help people get back to work, back to school, and back on their feet, keeping our families healthy and our economy moving forward.
Especially for our rural and minority neighbors.
With a full suite of services, top-tier medical professionals, FMC is redefining what healthcare looks like for the underserved.
For more information, go to fmcor.org.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The Free Medical Clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
Hi, I'm Rick Scarborough, State Representative. Friday nights are special in Anderson County. Football under the lights, warm weather, cool nights, and some intense rivalries. I want to congratulate the student athletes, the cheerleaders, the band, the teachers, the coaches. You've worked incredibly hard. Go out there, compete hard, and enjoy it. But nothing like high school football.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
I wanted to continue my education after high school, but my family and I didn't think we could afford it. Then I found out that Roane State has the options to make college possible. Now I'm pursuing my dreams and will make my family and community proud.
This week on Rivalry Friday, it's Farragut at Bearden. Coverage starts at 6:30 on the Knox.
Kathy Mae Martin has been making real estate dreams a reality for over 3 decades. Buying or selling real estate is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choosing the right realtor is next. Thinking of buying or selling? Call Kathy Mae Martin at Coldwell Banker Jim Henry & Associates for all your real estate needs. Rest assured, with Kathy's knowledge and experience, you will be on the winning team.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Cooler weather brings autumn-colored leaves and football time in Tennessee. Warm up with natural gas heat or enjoy the year-round comfort of natural gas water heaters, ranges, and clothes dryers. More affordable and reliable, natural gas keeps your home cozy while increasing its value. Whether you're a new home builder or a homeowner wanting an upgrade, consider all the benefits natural gas offers. Call us today or visit us online to learn more. Oak Ridge Utility District, your hometown natural gas provider.
The free medical clinic provides primary care at no cost to the working poor. Every day, thousands of families live in fear, afraid to get sick or injured because they have no insurance and low income. But FMC removes that fear. We help people get back to work, back to school, and back on their feet, keeping our families healthy and our economy moving forward.
Especially for our rural and minority neighbors.
With a full suite of services, top-tier medical professionals, FMC is redefining what healthcare looks like for the underserved.
For more information, go to
Where you look, you can find unexpected things that make you smile. Little reminders to care for your heart. At Covenant Health, we bring more heart to more places. That means more locations, advanced treatments, and expert physicians. Because we know your heart beats for more than just you. It beats for the people, moments, and dreams that matter most. More heart in more places for you. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
Hey, East Tennessee, ready to save big? It's all at Hammer's Dry Goods. For over 70 years, we've been your hometown store for famous brand men's and ladies' clothing at rock-bottom prices. Need rugged workwear? Sharp casual looks? Ladies' game day gear? We've got it all, and it's priced to move. And when you shop Hammer's, you keep your money local, supporting our schools, our students, and our community. Hammer's Dry Goods. Tradition, value, hometown pride, and savings you can feel. Get to Hammer's today.
Josh Anderson is a...
And welcome to the Hearthside Bank pregame show. Mark Packer along with with Aaron Harvey, Sophie Starkey, the third member of our crew, down on the field. You talk about rivalry games. You go through East Tennessee. You mentioned Maryville-Cohen, Bearden, Farragut, Loudon, Lenoir City, Pigeon Forge GP, and you got to throw in Harriman-Rockwood in there.
Well, you have to. They've been playing for over 100 years consecutively. In fact, last year made the 100th year consecutively they played.
Yeah.
Tonight, it's going to be 101 in a row.
It's hard to believe. Over 100 years, and I was there. No, I'm just kidding. I was not there for the first one, which was on a street corner next to a laundromat, which we'll talk about that a little bit later. By the way, Grace just scored again. Did you happen to see what happened last night?
I saw the final score for sure, yeah.
It was, we got to the point where with Grace and Webb, I had people messaging me saying, has Grace run out of fireworks? Let's run through all the highlights. Brad Jones was there, and it was absolutely thrill-a-minute last night, and it got started on the first play of the game. This is J.B. Stinson. He is a ninth grader. Listen to the numbers, 13 carries, 391 yards. That was one of his 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's going to go. I don't know. I don't think he has the record for most yards ever in a game, but he's got to be top 5.
And this one right here, Tate gets the touchdown. We're tied at 7. Grace gets the football back again. This is Jace Ballard. 4 catches, 94 yards, 1 touchdown through the air. We'll get to those on the ground. He had 4 of them. Here's a touchdown for Webb. Back and forth we go. The game tied at 14. Grace gets the football back up 21-14. This is at the start of the second quarter. The field goal there right before halftime makes it 28-17 at the 35-20 at the half. Second half, here comes Grace again. Jace Ballard, 21 carries, 201 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. Webb comes back again. It was absolutely chaos last night.
Yeah, the Price brothers have that program rolling right now. And I'm really excited because on Rivalry Friday, we've got Grace 2 times this year. We've got them at Sevier County.
Yep.
So looking forward to that game. And then we've got them at home against CAK.
Yeah, we've got them on the road twice, at CAK, and we've got them at Sevier County. And I think here's one of those questions that I've got is how does it translate? You see the private school, you see the one that doesn't have the numbers. How does it translate when they play the defending 5A state champions?
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting to see. And I know that Grace is going to be pumped up for that game, going against a quality opponent like Sevier County. So if Sevier County's still undefeated, that'd be, I don't know, like 20 games in a row that they had won.
Well, and we'll see Sevier County on Rivalry Thursday, a game that airs in both markets, Tri-Cities and here, Greenville, top 5 in the state in 4A. Sevier County number 1 in the state in 5A. That's something to keep your eye on. Hey, Rivalry Thursday is brought to you by the exclusive auto partner of the Rivalry brand and Rivalry Friday, of course, that being Ted Russell Ford, Ted Russell Lincoln. Our thanks to Andy White and the great people at all 3 locations, the official auto partner of the Rivalry brand. Okay, lots to get to as far as all good players around the area. WBIR has their Blitz Player of the Week. They do the poll, and there's a lot of players to choose from each and every week.
Oh, yeah. Huge performances, and it's so exciting to see, and I'm so glad that we get to highlight some of these players.
100%. The Blitz Player of the Week, let's check in with Camille Gear.
Week 4 of the high school football season is in the books. It's hard to believe we're already halfway through the regular season. And with that, it's time now to announce our Players of the Week. Sevier County wide receiver Bryson had a standout performance, catching 7 passes for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. He didn't know he was our offensive player of the week, but he says when it was announced, he felt honored, especially considering everything he's been through. Last year, Hedrick tore his ACL and wasn't able to finish the season. Throughout his career, he's been known as the shortest player on the field, but he's never let his size define him. In fact, it's pretty clear his game is rising to new heights.
I was little, I've always been the smallest one, and everybody's always told me that, and that I'm not big enough for stuff, but that's just my feel, is everybody saying that I'm too small. I'm probably the most talented on the field most of the time, so, I mean, yeah, height has nothing to do with it.
On On the other side of the ball, our defensive player of the week comes from Gatlinburg Pittman safety John Cohan. Cohan recorded 2 interceptions and 5 tackles in the win over Fulton. This is his first full season playing on the defensive side of the ball after being the team's quarterback last year. He says his experience under center has helped shape his instincts on defense, reading plays before they even happen.
When I'm quarterback, usually the first thing I look for is the safety. You got to see where the safeties are at, so that's a big thing. But playing safety, it's a lot less responsibility. Usually you're only watching 1 or 2 guys, so it's a big difference. But it helps. It helps playing quarterback in the past. It's kind of easier to read stuff and know where the quarterback's wanting to go based on the coverage.
So there you have it. Week 4 players of the week. Gatlinburg Pittman is featured in our 10 tailgate game of the week this week in week 5, hosting Pigeon Forge. Sevier County, on the other hand, is also at home on Friday night, hosting David Crockett.
Here in Northview?
Yeah, and one of the games that is coming up tonight, actually the 10 tailgate game on WBIR, is Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg Pittman. Beautiful shot here, by the way, as Aerial Covered is brought to you by Gatlinburg Sky Park. Just a spectacular venue here in Rockwood. And Aaron, it's John Webb and I were talking about in our now 16 and a half years of doing Rivalry Thursday and now Rivalry Friday. We've had Rockwood on several times, but it's always been on the road. We had Rockwood at Harriman. We've had them at Oliver Springs. We've had them at Oneida. This is my first time here.
Yeah, well, welcome. This is kind of my neck of the woods a little bit. I didn't go here, but went just one county over, so very familiar with this territory and the stadium.
Yeah, looking forward to tonight. Just an electric atmosphere here this evening as OEB Rivalry Friday brought to you by Carson Newman. It's Harriman and Rockwood. Hey, let's take us a break right now. You're watching the Hearthside Bank pregame show. When we come back on the other side, we'll visit with the new head coach of the Harriman Blue Devils, and that is Quayu Graham when we come back.
High school sports is bigger than the players in the game. It's all about communities, screaming fans, the bands, cheer teams, and mascots. And the dogs. Just like high school sports, OEB Law is all about results. Hi, I'm Tim Elrod, and the OEB Law team is dedicated to giving you the game-winning results you deserve. OEB Law, just results. 546-1111.
Hey, East Tennessee, ready to save big? It's all at Hammer's Dry Goods. For over 70 years, we've been your hometown store for famous brand men's and ladies' clothing at rock-bottom prices. Need rugged workwear? Sharp casual looks? Ladies' game day gear? We've got it all, and it's priced to move. And when you shop Hammer's, you keep your money local, supporting our schools, our students, and our community. Hammer's Dry Goods. Tradition, value, hometown pride, and savings you can feel. Get to Hammer's today.
Kathy May Martin has been making real estate dreams a reality for over 3 decades. Buying or selling real estate is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choosing the right realtor is next. Thinking of buying or selling? Call Kathy May Martin at Coldwell Banker Jim Henry & Associates for all your real estate needs. Rest assured, with Kathy's knowledge and experience, you will be on the winning team.
The free medical clinic offers primary care at no cost to the working poor. Every day, thousands of families live in fear, afraid to get sick or injured because they have no insurance and low income. But FMC removes that fear. We help people get back to work, back to school, and back on their feet, keeping our families healthy and our economy moving forward, especially for our rural and minority neighbors. With a full suite of services, top-tier medical professionals, FMC is redefining what healthcare looks like for the underserved. For more information, go to fmcor.org.
Boy, what a spectacular look here tonight at Rockwood. And, Aaron Harvey, looking forward to this one as you make your way up 40 and you get into Rockwood.